Goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Ladies and gentlemen, weeks before your girlfriend goes to Miami Swim Week to cheat on you, you're going to find out about it here first on Access Vegas. We're welcome to have all you guys back. Shout out to all the people who are still surviving from EDC. I walked 25,000 steps on Sunday.
And had 10% sleep.
10% sleep. Just an incredible time. Shout out to all the people who are here for EDC. Please go home. You've been here too long.
Yes.
Especially those of you who can't.
Find
Find
your way to the airport.
I used to braid hair in the campsite. I did 4 days for 12 hours and then raved right after.
That is crazy, man. People camping at an EDC and they smelled like they were camping. It was wild.
It is turned into Burning Man.
Your ex homeless?
Okay. Oh, wow, that's a dub.
Okay, that sounds funny. Let's get to that story later, Jensen. We're going to introduce our guest because we have a very special show. She is from Compton, California. She's an adult entertainer. She is Cree. Hey, Cree, welcome. Everybody clap. Everybody clap. Hey. Good to see Cree. She's right there. Sorry, Cree's got somebody next to her. Not yet. She's from Riverside, California. She's an international model and adult entertainer. It is Genesis. Yay, Genesis. All right. She is from Utah. She's an adult entertainer. She's a poker player. It is Alina.
Hey. Utah.
She is from Vegas. She's an adult entertainer. This is Jessica. I don't know. Again, it's never been like this. This is 4 in a row. We've never seen this before. Shout out to Jessica. She's the host. She's the host of MMA Angel. She's a content creator. It is Monica. Hey. There's Monica. Yes. There you go. Monica's the most TradCon that we have on the show this week. That's about. Oh wait, actually no. We got one more.
Oh God.
Right here. Are we putting it right here?
Yeah.
So which side are we putting her on?
Yeah, put it right there.
Right there. Hey.
Yeah.
Black. Yep, she's over there.
Okay, there you go. Cool.
Perfect timing, Zoe.
She's
That's what he should say.
She's from Poland, world famous adult actress. It is Natalia Starr. She's also a DJ, podcast creator. Hey, welcome, Natalia. Great to have her. And she's from Canada. We're so happy to have her here again. It is Miss Zoe Willard.
Flew in
Zoe,
from Canada.
Flew in just for this.
Clap for myself.
I think so. Who would be the most TradCon of the 7 of them? Who do you think?
Oh,
it's either
Monica.
I don't really know what that means.
Monica.
Traditional conservative.
Monica.
Oh wow.
I'm no.
Okay, so because we have a legend here today.
Yes.
It's a very special episode coming. Oh, she's not coming. She's coming from Texas, originally from New York City. It is the legend Jedediah Bila. Hey, Jedediah, how you doing?
Up, y'all.
Incredible. Jedediah, she
we
has
made
her
it
own
work.
podcast. Make sure you guys check out her channel. Jedediah's got her new podcast channel. It's incredible. There's a bunch of really, really viral clips from some weird brown guy.
Jedediah Bila official.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, we got it right. I got it right.
We just both went on her show. It's really great because it's like we listen, but we don't judge. But then we have Jedediah. She does judge.
I do judge.
We're so glad to have her on here. Okay, incredible. We're going to get right into it, Jedediah. We're going to show you the formula of how we do our show. Go ahead and show the first. Or actually, do you have any?
No, I was just going to say, I wanted to point out that we had a really good time in Miami. We did the white party. I ended up going on a fishing trip and catching my first sail.
Bro, that was incredible. It was a big old sword thing.
I can knock that off my bucket list
You're a man
finally.
now.
Yes. Well, you know,
That's really
it's
cool.
funny. So but catching this fish like made me think, like most girls get an ick whenever like you're showing you're showing a big old like big mouth bass or something like that and everything. But there's a hierarchy of fish.
Yes.
So if you catch like a marlin or a sailfish, that's like rich man's fish. You catch a catfish, no.
Did you eat it?
No. They're protected, so you have to let them go. But but I did get the flag. So whenever you catch a sailfish, they run the flag up. So when they come into port, that you know what you caught. So, but they gave me the flag. So yeah,
Yes.
I got my flag. So it's good. But we had a really great time. He had a really great time. We all had a really great time.
It was a great time.
It was a fun trip. We did Fresh and Fit on Wednesday. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. And then I did a show with Just Fresh on Friday. So go check those out if you haven't seen them already.
Yes, and speaking of the white party, we wore so much white, our credit score went up. It was incredible. We wore so much white. that we were forced to testify in the Diddy trial.
And they just let us walk through TSA.
They just let us walk through there. They didn't search us at all. All right.
All right, here we go.
Speaking of all that white, let's get to this our first reaction video right now.
You ready for this?
Here we go.
Is the definition of unconditional love. And I love that for her.
You know how I know good men exist? Because Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, exists. Because Sierra's husband, Russell Wilson, exists. Cassie's husband, Alex, that man ain't nothing. He ain't got nothing but God pumping through his veins. Like, truly an angel, you know.
May all my girlies find a love that resembles the love that Alex Fine has for Cassie. Like, what a beautiful demonstration of what it means to be loved fully and fearlessly and unapologetically.
Okay, hold on. We got to get this fucking plane in order. We
Real
have to
quick,
land.
Let's drop out of that real quick.
Okay, yep.
All right, so real quick, just to set this up before I get a reaction from everyone, Alex Fine, who's is Cassie Ventura's husband now, at the time was dating Cassie Ventura, except for the part where Cassie Ventura went and had sex with Puff Daddy. And while she was having sex with Puff Daddy, on at least one occasion, called her husband while she was having
knocking it out with him.
Yeah. And then later on, Puff Daddy then paid her to have sex with male escorts while they were still together, and then there were several other men afterwards. That's what all those men underneath her picture were, like other men that she was associated with. And then in 2018, he married her. Sound good? And these women are lauding him because they like that's what true love is, and they wish that they could find a love like that, to where you could get peed on, where you could have baby oil all over your body, and your man still wants to be with you. So I'm just curious, Jedediah, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's just not true. I mean, like, they're lying, first of all. I mean, I love when women say stuff like this, like, oh, yeah, you know, I want a guy that gets walked all over. I want a guy that I could cheat on. I want a guy that I could use and abuse. No, you don't. You're going to leave that guy in a hot second and be sleeping with another guy. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. They just lie all the time. I mean, do any of the ladies at the table actually believe what they're saying?
Hold on, first off, who agrees that is true love, that they actually see it a different way? Zoe?
I'm not talking.
Why not? No?
I'm not outing myself.
No?
No.
Natalia, what do you think?
I believe in true love. I agree with them for sure.
You believe it? You agree with them for sure? That just no judgment.
Yeah, because I've been through a lot of stuff like Cassidy, and I would love to find a love like that. So I believe in that for sure.
Now,
I want to open my heart to eventually find love like that.
Do you have issues when you're performing?
Yeah, because I agree.
And you're having a monogamous relationship, not monogamous in what's inside the relationship at the same time while you're performing. Is it an issue?
That didn't work out with me personally.
What did you try it and it didn't work out? What happened?
He definitely cheated, but
he cheated. But you were filming with other dudes.
Yeah.
Wait, so who was cheating?
We have a different agreement. I know a lot of normal people don't understand that.
No, it's not that we don't understand. We're just make us help.
Yeah, because we had a love relationship, so
yes.
it was completely separated from my work.
Okay.
So we have like a different categories. He was also shooting, so like he could go out and shoot other people. We just needed to talk
But the problem was he would have sex with other women off camera.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he was community dick for sure.
Go ahead, Jedediah. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on a second. So you're allowed to sleep with whoever on camera. He's allowed to sleep with whoever on camera, but he's not allowed to sleep with somebody off camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, like, what's the difference really? You're spreading it for strangers, right? Either way.
Okay, so when we shoot adult content, it's like when professional basketball players go and play courtside. So we're like athletes. And it's a performance. It's not a job. It's a job. It's not emotional. It's very separated from that. So
wait, hold up though. What if it wasn't
emotional?
What if it's not emotional for him though? Like, what if he came to you and said, "Well, it's not emotional for you to be sleeping with a whole bunch of guys on cam, and you know what? If I go sleep with a whole bunch of women off cam, it's not emotional. It's just physical."
Yeah, that was his point, and that's why we didn't work out.
You started with a really big.
It's a fair argument.
I know, but I'm a bad bitch, and I want a certain relationship, and I know what I deserve.
Okay, hold on, Zoe. You have a different take on this.
Yeah.
Come on, Zoe.
Talk to me.
Like,
this is a good conversation.
So for me, it's like the way that you said it was like you guys could sleep with whoever you wanted on camera for content. But what's stopping you guys from going out and just sleeping with random people, taking a video of it and calling it content. That's still the exact same thing.
That's what OnlyFans is.
What do you mean?
That's what involved. You can
that's
still
what
post
most
it to
women are doing
OnlyFans,
now.
but
Yeah, that's what
it's the
OnlyFans
exact
is.
same thing. Just because there wasn't a camera involved, it's still the same thing. Y'all were both cheating on each other, in my opinion.
Okay, interesting.
Okay,
All right.
so then if you're in the industry, what are you supposed to do? Not work?
Yeah, not see people.
Oh,
I
no.
No.
What we're pointing out is not what you're supposed to do. What we're pointing out is if you are sleeping with other men and want a relationship with one man, there's a difficulty, especially if this man has boundaries.
That's why we're
standards.
single.
Does that make sense?
And he has his own needs.
I mean, I feel like there's like a level of communication
Genesis, what did
need
you
to
say?
have.
He has his own needs. Men have needs.
Men have needs too.
Yeah.
So you're saying, but I mean, why couldn't he just get his needs, met by Natalia? And
I
then,
feel like
Right.
men have a
did.
different emotional attachment. Like they can fuck whoever they want.
so a less emotional attachment.
Less
Okay,
emotional
cool.
than women.
Okay.
Women cheat because they're emotionally attached to him, but men because they want to be distracted.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
But it has like nothing to do with the industry. Like it could be either or.
Okay. Jedediah, what'd you say?
But what guy is going to sit and say, I mean, for a woman to say, hey, listen, I'm going to sleep with a whole bunch of guys on camera for money, and you can't do the same off camera? Like, what kind of simpy, like, idiot guy is going to tolerate
Alex
that?
Fine. That's the whole point of the video.
Yeah, that
Alex
was-
Fine. The thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
Jedediah, what you're saying is absolutely true.
Valid.
Here's the issue. Here's the ultimate issue. The issue is yeah, guys, we can all hear you off camera.
But keep it down.
Please keep it down. The issue is when you and I live in reality world where like we witness what we consider to be like normal heterosexual relationships. This sounds so outside the norm. Yet when I talk to girls who are on OnlyFans or Sex Panther or whatever, and I see the level to which these men will give these women money, it is look, you see Natalia's face. It is unbelievable how many men would absolutely marry a Lily Phillips or a Bonnie Blue without any question because they're the most attractive women those guys have ever been with. And so what's happened is while the OnlyFans economy is growing like this, the simp economy is growing like this.
Yes,
And
astronomically.
the bottom third of men are just totally decimated when it comes to dating, love, sex, anything. They are completely left behind. And because of that, there's plenty of men who would accept that arrangement.
Yeah, but
Well,
can I
no,
ask,
it's-
Mike,
Go
can
ahead.
I ask the girls a question, though? Honest
Yeah.
question for the girls at the table. Would you, those of you who are adult entertainers, those of you who are doing this, OnlyFans, whatever you're doing, do you honestly want a guy who's going to tolerate that? Like, do you find that
Yeah.
respectable? Do you honestly think?
I see married women and men every single day have amazing relationships with kids and their whole thing. The whole thing is a normal relationship. But when it comes to work, work is work.
Let me ask you
clock
this then.
You clock in, you clock out, you're done.
Yeah,
That's
it's just, yeah, but let me tell you. So what kind of guy, can you just give me a few characteristics of the kind of guy, if you were going to look to settle down with a guy, what traits does that guy have?
Bisexual would probably be number one, I'm going to guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to say that? Sorry, my bad. Go
I
ahead.
like fluid men for sure.
Fluid. They're called fluid now. That's a new name for it.
So the thing is for me, if they treat me nice
Mm-hmm.
and if they give me the attention that I need from them, and we have we don't need to be together all the time, but communication, having our date nights, doing that.
Okay,
kind of
do
thing.
you want a guy who has his, shit together? Someone who's
Oh, I
got
want
his
an empire
finances.
with my man. Me and him grow up together. We're building the world.
Okay, but you want a guy who's considered like high value, right? You want someone who's got his finances in order. You want someone who's going to treat you with respect. I'm guessing you want a gentleman. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so all of those traits make up a guy who's not going to want to tolerate
I
his
know plenty of
girlfriend
them, though.
going and sleeping with a whole bunch of other random guys.
But
He's
I
just
know
not going to
plenty
do
of
it.
them. But I see them every day. So
Are you with them?
I'm not dating.
Oh, you're not dating at all. But would you?
No.
I mean, if
I'm
if
worried
those
about
guys,
my money.
I have a hard time believing that when push comes to shove, any one of you women at the table would take seriously a guy that's basically a doormat for you. To basically, you can go on camera, do whatever you want, and he's a doormat. And I will bet dollars to donuts that a really hot guy that shows up and says, guess what, ladies, I'm not taking this shit. You're either going to stop this, you're going to be with me, you're going to make a decision. You'd be all aflutter over that guy because he's taking a stand.
But I don't actually see myself with
just-
somebody. I actually don't see myself with somebody that's not in the industry like I am.
Monica, go ahead. What are you saying?
So as someone who's not in the adult entertainment industry, like I do not want someone that like I can walk over and like boss around. Like when it comes to my relationships, I like am very loyal, so I also expect the same thing. So I'm not in the industry, so it's hard for me to talk on it. But I feel like if you're in the industry and you're with someone else that's also in the industry, you may have like that same mindset of how the relationship should go. But also from a perspective of not being in it, it's fucking wild to me. Like I could never, I would tweak out. And I'd be like confident and like kind of stubborn. So if a man can actually stand up to me and like make me question my actions and stuff, like I respect that because I don't want someone that I can walk all over.
Jed, Monica is our TradCon for the day. She's our
I hear it. I like what I hear.
Our green-haired TradCon.
Hey.
Yes.
But I do have to say on the whole Cassie thing, she was a very traumatized individual.
Agreed. But the problem is this.
Started young.
The problem is this. While we talk about how young she was old enough. I promise you, when an 18-year-old girl votes for Kamala Harris, she's more than old enough to do so. And nobody has a fucking problem with it. Oh, you want to talk about the most misogynistic shit I've ever heard is this infantilization of women. Oh, they were too young to know what they were doing. No, they weren't. It's crazy to me. It's like, no, you disagree with what they were doing. Cassie is complicit in this Diddy thing. I'm sorry. I don't care how old she is. She is complicit. She sourced people to come to these parties. She consistently went to the parties. She cheated on a man. And here's the other thing. I just want to bring this up. We've had the clips with Mia Khalifa, Lana Rhoades saying, I wish all this porn of me could just vanish. We've had I'm friends with Crystal Hefner. At least Crystal Hefner, when she wrote her book, she said, I understood I could have left and I didn't leave. She takes accountability for that. Holly Madison, not so much, okay? And then we have this situation right here with Cassie, and there's several other situations like this where women are like, I'm a victim and I want to leave. And here's
There's a lot of levels to it.
Correct. But my whole thing is this. If Mia Khalifa wants to say this, or Lana Rhoades, or any of these other people, then one of the first things I'd like you to do is go back to your dad who told you to not do this. Go back to your ex-boyfriend who you cheated on. Go back to that good dude who begged you to not go into this line of work. And you need to go tell, it's always look on her face, exactly. Go tell him, you know what, you were right. I really shouldn't have done any of this. If you made women do that, I promise you, there wouldn't be no more Lana Rhoades, there wouldn't be no more Mia Khalifa, because that's the problem. It's like you want all of the fame without the responsibility for what's going on. Natalia, you don't have a problem with it. You are fully accepting of what you're doing.
I just feel like if those ladies really didn't want, they should change their name. They should
agreed.
And that name, and instead of like perpetuating it.
Yeah, so you're not an example of what I'm talking about because you're not claiming a victimology from your work. You fully went into it knowing what you're doing. What I'm talking about is, again, the Holly Madison, the Lana Rhoades, the Cassie.
Yeah, I was friends with her. We hung out all the time when we were in the industry together.
Right,
we
now
partied
she goes
hard, and we had a really good time when we were shooting. So she's definitely her. That's why I really am mad about her opinion, because she was very willing and very wanting to do whatever she wanted to do during that time.
If she actually did get Hugh Hefner's fortune and was married to Hugh Hefner,
I'm talking about Lana.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about Lana Rhoades. Sorry, I'm sorry, my bad. With the Lana Rhoades situation, yeah, it's Lana Rhoades is like, it was. She does this interview, and actually, I think we have it. We'll probably bring it up here in a little bit. And they say, "Hey, aren't you proud of all the things that you've done?" And she goes, "I really wish I could get all those images of me doing adult work off the internet. It really makes me angry that people can watch this right now." And the girl was kind of shocked because this super, super woke liberal chick was like, "What do you mean? You've accomplished so much. Like, that really still bothers you? Like, why does that ever bother you?" And the reason why is because, and you can tell me if you guys have ever had this issue before. She is trying to date a guy for the future, and the guys she keeps dating are dating their favorite porn star.
Yeah.
And that's happened to you before?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a fantasy, so.
Yeah. So like you're taking this relationship seriously, and he is.
I'm
What's
just a
that?
fan.
Huh?
Yeah, he's a fan.
He's a fan.
No, it's fanatic. They're fanatics.
All the time. That's their favorite phrase.
Oh god.
He's just a fan.
He's just a fan.
Fanatic, not
You
a
just
fan.
took him on some couple dates, but he's a fan.
Yeah.
Jed, do you have anything else you want to say about this?
I mean, no, I just, it's still startling to me that, like, the girl who said that she wanted to, I don't know, pardon me if I don't remember all of your names and trouble names. The pretty girl with the green off the shoulder said, I want to date someone in the industry. Like you say, is that something you want? Like, do you want to marry? Like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have children? And you want?
I don't know about children. But
I'm just wondering, it seems so odd to me as a woman. Typically, women are more emotional when it comes to, sex and all these things. And it seems really strange to me that a woman would be able to be somewhat numb to her love, her person going and then having sexual relations with a bunch of other people. That seems really strange to me. Just, I don't care if you call it work or whatever. It's still something is not quite right with that situation.
Well, here's also the thing. There's levels to it. Like when I have something special with somebody, it makes me even closer, because like when I go on set, it's work. I'm thinking about a million things. I'm thinking about what my face is doing, what my feet are doing, where my leg is, where's the camera. I think about all of those things, so I don't get to enjoy myself. So when I'm with my person, it's even more like connecting. I get to connect.
I don't have to worry about where my feet are. I feel the same way.
You have to point your toes.
Where's the camera?
You have to point your toes. They want pretty toes.
You gotta open up for the camera.
Exactly.
You gotta always be aware of it.
You know, Jessica, I love you.
Yes.
Do you understand how you might be difficult to date for like a lot of guys?
Yeah. No, because in all reality, I'm a really good catch. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I'm basically a trad wife, but I just do other stuff.
You're a trad wife, but you're sleeping with a whole bunch of men.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but
you get it all with me. You get it all with me.
There isn't a traditional man on the planet that would be able to do that, though.
They still watch me. Trust me, they watch me. They know what they're getting into.
Well, they may watch, but they're not going to wipe you up.
It's a TradCon relationship. $5 for the next 30 days.
Not only
if
that,
you click now on my OF.
And not only that, when you're in this industry, it gives you the confidence. It gives you. I know my value even more now than I did before. I was a pushover before, and now I know who I am and what my voice is capable of. So this job has taught me so much that I needed to learn about society and how to view things. So I'm actually very grateful that I'm in this business that I'm in.
What if you met a traditional guy who had all the traits that you liked, and he said, I don't want you to do this anymore. Would you stop?
Bye.
You would give up the traditional guy that you would want to marry for...
Bye.
Why?
Well, okay, hold on.
Because no man's gonna fuck up my bag. I tell you what.
Wait, time out. What if it comes? Just for the sake of this argument, what if it comes with a bag?
No, because here's the thing. I want to be successful. I don't have to rely on another man, because if any day that if I have to ask you for money, like, oh, can I get $100? I need to go grocery shopping. Or
what if that's handled?
Just get a prenup.
Yeah, what if that's handled?
I want success. I want to have a job.
He gives you a black card off the rip when you guys get together.
Here's the thing. It's still his money. I want my money. I don't want to have to feel like, oh my God,
his money anymore.
What happens if he turns around like later on and he's a bad person and I want to leave and then I have nothing?
You become a multi-millionaire immediately when you call my friend James Sexton. That's what happens.
Not all money's good money.
Huh?
I don't care where the money came from.
Right.
So,
I mean,
Jed,
that's just not a real problem, though. Like, first of all, women
it is
leave.
for a lot of people.
It's not, though, because women
Look at
leave
the
men.
housewives that want to leave their husband and they can't because they have no money. They have
Yeah,
to
you know what
steal
they do?
$50.
That's not what happens. That's not real life. That's a talking point. What they do is they leave their husbands and they walk away with half the money, if not more, and they have the kids, and the guy is
that's a bad
paying.
mentality to have about being a wife. It's just you want to take half. That's like
No, it is a bad mentality.
That's
what they do. That's reality.
Not in Vegas.
It's a fail-safe that's already built into the system. So Jed, I want to point something out, because you and I have had this discussion before, when I've said in the past that for the last probably 4 generations of women have been taught that men are inherently untrustworthy. Mm-hmm. So there's always going to be that factor, which she just said every word almost verbatim what I've said in the past, which is, what if he goes and fucks the secretary? What if I put all of my energy and all of my effort and all of my sexual capital into this one guy, and he makes partner in the law firm and he makes a shit ton of money, and he decides that he doesn't want to fuck me anymore, he would rather go and have sex with his secretary? Now I need to have a fail safe. I need to have a backup program. Right. If you take that to the nth degree, this is what you get, which is, I need my bag. I want to start my empire. And this is why the sexes right now have never been more divided, because because we have taught generation after generation of women that men are inherently untrustworthy. You get Homer Simpson, you get borderline abuser guy, or you get new Zoomer or Gen Z incompetent guy who can't tie a tie and use a stick shift, right? Or can't change a tire. Those are your 3 options for guys, and if that's all there is, then you get the girl who says, you know what? Fuck all that. I'm going to go and get my education, get my money, get my business started, get all of this stuff because I can't trust men for my long-term security. That's exactly what I've said for the last 10
Ladies
years.
never trust men. 100%. I escort and I meet a lot of rich guys and they're all married. So, yeah.
Speaking of tires, I popped a tire the other day and I needed a... it was the front one.
Sorry.
So it was the front one. So I didn't want to do it. So the one time, I've changed my tires multiple times. I'm very good at it. But the thing is I really didn't want to. So I called someone. I was like, hey, can you come change my tire? Can you move the back one to the front and then put the donut in the back? And he almost fucked up my brakes.
So
dropped my car. He dropped my car. Thank God the donut was already on there. So that's the last time I call a man to come change my tire. I'll do it in heels all I want.
For the record, most men know
Good
how to change a tire.
I got the AA thing.
AAA.
I don't rely on men for anything. I do everything myself. Everything.
I believe every word you're saying, except for the electricity, the water, the sewage, the trash cleaning, personal protection.
That's what AAA is for.
Other than that, I don't need a man for shit.
Oxymoron.
We have run
like,
flats with our Mercedes.
And
Yeah.
as I was saying, I do have sugar daddies, and I've been around all of this kind of world. I meet a lot of men who, like, their wives don't fuck them at all, and they're just sad of that, and they're depressed about that, and they're reaching out to women that I know that they could satisfy them, and we keep it private. Not till now. But like I feel bad because these women just close their legs as soon as they get their little ring.
But you also just said men aren't trustworthy. So why would I find it hard to believe that all these guys their women don't sleep with them. Maybe they give them everything that they can, because I'm that girl that be doing everything.
No,
with my
there's
man and
Monica.
he
Monica, I believe you, but no, there's a lot of sexless marriage. That's a really common.
So I got a quick question for you. Now, having had this conversation right now, what were we just talking about? Cassie and Alex is his name, right?
Yeah, Alex Fine.
Do you think that Cassie is just as sexual and is just as crazy in the bed with Alex as she was with P. Diddy?
Oh, hell no.
No.
Why do you suppose that is?
Because he's a pushover, simpy, useless guy.
Oh my God.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Because love doesn't need all that extra shit. Love, connection, being love. You just need a couple seconds and
You
you're
should
fine,
have them.
you know?
Baby, I know you had threesomes with those other men, but you didn't love them like you love me.
That's true.
I understand.
Missionary. I
Thank
don't
you, baby.
care.
Say that missionary because you love me so much.
They can look into
And
each
you had
other's
threesomes
eyes.
with your ex-boyfriend, but not me because you love me
I'm
so
actually
much.
going to bounce off what she said, that she gives her boyfriend everything. Like, I do so much. I used to be that person, and it didn't get me anywhere either.
That's why I'm single, yeah.
Exactly. I gave too much,
single, hey,
and
Nick
it didn't
Cannon.
give me
Come on, Zoe, tell us
anywhere.
what you
So
think.
now
You're just a dog.
I make them do. Now, if they want my attention, if they want the things that a girlfriend experience, they need to do something for me, because it's not worth my time anymore, because I've given it to so many other people with no hesitation.
On
So
God.
now they have to prove to me that they're worthy of my time.
How do they do that? How do they prove that they're worthy of your time?
Spending time with me, going on dates, opening the door, just being a gentleman, cook me dinner.
Okay, but
Actually,
acts of
So like
service.
basic,
No, this is great.
Basic
You're-
behavior.
yes, basic.
That's what it takes.
That's a little bit more, but like
Paying your bills.
that would be
Has anyone
nice.
taken
But
you
it's not
out
a
of the game?
requirement as of right now.
Right, but you're saying that you want all those
To the
things,
what?
that's fine. But when we had that conversation before, if I said if you would be willing to give up sleeping with a whole bunch of guys, if that guy that you meet is willing to do all those things for you, you're still not willing to do one thing for him, which is just stop sleeping with other people for work.
No, I ain't doing that. That's out of the question.
It just, see, this is the problem, Mike.
She loves her job.
This is.
I do. I love my
For
job.
lifers, that's
Jedediah, you want to see something
job.
crazier? Hold on. I'm just I haven't even asked them this. Ladies, you would give up your social media for a man. Raise your hand.
No.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
I would.
Zoe would.
You would give up. Oh, you guys would? Okay. This is the most girls we've
would.
ever had say that they would. We had 3 out of the 7 girls.
course.
Usually it's 1 out of 8 girls will say they'd give up their social media for
That's
me.
a recent thing, though.
Huh?
I mean, so what are you doing there?
Like my job requires for me to have social media.
I would let somebody
Hold on,
else run.
Cree, go ahead.
I would let somebody else run my social media and all my accounts and kind of like let somebody take it off my hands.
I do that now.
But that's still social media. That's still you being on the internet.
He just said, though. He said social media. No?
But like delete.
I would.
No, it's fine.
He never said that.
What I'm saying is this: does your social media, which connects to your independence, mean more to you than a happy monogamous relationship with a man? And the vast majority of women we have on here say unequivocally no. The answer is no. So it's one of these things. It's like, we have all these dudes who come on here and say these women are trash, and like, you guys don't even want to get married. So like, why do you care? And it's the same type of situation where I hear these women being like, I can't find a good man. I'm like, you wouldn't do shit if you found him. You wouldn't even give up your social media for him.
Syndrome, we'll push those guys away.
Like a man.
Of course. I totally understand.
Like
if
a
I
man.
said you a good guy, you would repel him.
I'm like, no, thank you.
Like, just like.
I had plenty of good guys try to approach me. He's actually getting married in the win next week.
Go ahead, Jed. I know you're chomping at the bit.
No, it just sounds like there's just such a deep distrust of men. Like it sounds like a lot of women just got wronged. Maybe you trusted in the wrong guy. Maybe you got burned, whatever it is. And now there's this deep distrust of men. So you're afraid to lean on a man. You're afraid to say, hey, yeah, you know what? I would give all this stuff up for a great relationship because you're afraid you're going to get left. There's just so much fear involved in all of these situations. But the thing is, like, there's guys out there that are gentlemanly, that are masculine men, that would be really attractive to you, but those guys are not going to be like, oh.
That's not my straight out of jail. Thanks, but that is why I'm single. I would never marry. I'm trying to get out of this type, so that's why I'm single. Because I'm 26. I would never marry this type, but like I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm single.
She goes, Jed, while you were saying that, she goes, that's not my type. I wouldn't go out with a guy who's a gentleman like that. It was so funny. I have on several occasions.
But you'll want to marry
one when she's 29.
Yes. I've on several occasions met women here, and like I thought they were absolutely beautiful, and then they told me about their exes, and I was like, hey, I cannot possibly provide you enough abuse for you to be happy in this relationship. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time in the day to abuse you and gaslight you and enough and call you crazy enough for you to enjoy the relationship with me. You should find another guy.
Is everyone in their 20s at the table?
Yeah.
No, I'm 30.
Okay.
I'm also 30.
I'm in my 30s.
In your 30s? Okay. Are we roughly looking at like 25 to 35? Is that like roughly the ages of the people at the table?
Way under 35 for now.
Okay, so here's the thing, ladies. Let me tell you, because I'm in my 40s. Let me just tell you, this stuff you're saying that you want now, oh yeah, I could ride this for a hot minute. That's not what you're going to want in a husband. And the problem is the guy that you want to marry.
It's going to change.
And that's why I don't date them anymore. That's why I'm single right now, because I know that's not what I want. But for the time being, that is what I just want to have fun.
Right, but the guy that you ultimately want, girls, the guys that you ultimately want are going to have a hard time with you having done what you're doing right now, with you sleeping around with the guy that you don't want to marry just for fun.
They better not be watching this podcast right now.
Yeah, and they will.
Your husband, log off right
Don't watch
now.
this show,
We have
honey.
literally had girls admit to cheating while in a relationship on the show.
Yes.
Yeah,
The guys
hubby,
you want,
log
don't watch
off.
The
You
only
don't
thing
wanna
that matters
watch.
more than your relationship is the attention you get on social media.
So cute.
Oh my gosh.
It's madness. I'm just trying to meet them where they are, Jedediah. I'm just trying to meet them where they are.
Man
I'm just
alive.
a therapist at this point. All right, cool. Do you want to do another video?
And that is why my wife does not have social media.
Yeah, that's correct.
Hey, I want to point one more thing out, though, about this Cassie thing. I don't think she was a victim at all. I think she did this willingly. I think she wanted to.
I agree.
And I'll tell you why. Because during the trial, they said, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you just get out? And she goes, because I was worried that some other bitch was going to take my place.
Yes.
No, she didn't.
No,
Did
She
say
said,
that?
because I was worried some other woman was going to take my place. Not my own personal preservation.
That is not a victim.
You know what?
Hold on.
She
Let me
might
ask
be
you
a
something.
victim, but I like that.
Hold on. Let me point out one other thing. It wasn't that some other girl was going to take her place with her husband later. That wasn't a concern.
Because he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, because exactly. Alex Fine wasn't her husband
You
at
guys
the
know
at
about
that time.
trauma bonds?
Huh?
Do you know about trauma bonds?
Again, but what we're saying is you want a healthy relationship in the yeah, of course. If we want a healthy relationship in the future, we have to transcend that. And if you don't transcend
She
that,
has to heal through it. She has to like let go of that what happened, and you have to work through it. It doesn't just happen in a second.
okay, while what you're
you guys
saying,
ever done
while
trauma
what you're
work?
saying may be true,
Have you done any healing work?
Her
Anyone
husband is
here?
not her husband is
No.
not a hero
Yeah,
because he
he's
stayed with her.
complicit.
I've done a
Her
lot of
husband-
work on myself,
her
so
husband-
I know how it works.
Right, her husband is not a hero.
I
He's an
completely
idiot.
disagree with all of you guys. Yeah.
Where we have to do all this like work and just like begin with something that actually works in itself.
Well, you gotta start somewhere, and you can't start when you're still in the trauma bond. You have to let that go. That sometimes
Heal
lasts
through
years.
it.
Sometimes that
Let
it's
it
like you're
go.
connected.
Heal through it.
Your body like is really connected. We have ties to each other. Individually.
If you believe that.
Yeah, I believe
don't.
that for sure.
Does trauma
That's so
bonding
straight-
lead
I
to
mean-
sexually assaulting people?
Go ahead, Jed.
You
No,
have
but trauma
ties to
bonding
each
would
other.
allow you
Wait,
to
she's
that
talking
way.
about.
It allows a lot of crazy stuff. You guys should know that.
Go ahead, Jed.
Wait a minute, you're talking about trauma and bonds and ties to each other,
Trauma
but
bond, it's a whole thing. Have you
you
never
know,
heard of a
I
trauma
get
bond?
it, but with what you do for a living,
I'm talking about the Cassie case.
No,
right
I
now.
know, but think about yourself too. Do you
I
hear
had
what
a
you're
trauma
saying?
bond with my ex-boyfriend, and that's what I'm trying to heal through.
What about with the guys though that don't mean anything that are in the industry? You know what I'm saying? Like
It's work.
That's
it's
different.
It's work.
it's not though.
You show up and you fuck and then you leave. That's literally.
Did you all
not
see-
like
Can we go? Hold on.
fucking
Can we
right.
get a T-shirt, like an X-Biz T-shirt? You show up, you fuck, and then you leave. What an incredible!
And then you cry.
make so much money.
I get a lot of those actually.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Jed. I'm just trying to meet them where they are.
Man
I'm just trying
alive.
to meet them where they are. I love
Agree
all
to
of you. I
disagree,
don't want to date
as
any
we
of you,
say.
but I love you all. I
I
love
wouldn't
all
want to
of you
date any
so
of you
much.
either.
Why are you still working? I mean, it's,
What?
What was the question?
why are you still working then? It shouldn't be so much money. If you show up, you fuck, you leave. Like,
Yeah.
it's still like you have an attachment to that person. It's on the internet forever. Like with the we're talking about the Cassie thing. Like she's forever tied to it. So
Thank you, Mama.
That's true.
if you want to talk about a trauma bond,
That shit fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Cassie, I would try to figure out a way to present them evidence, and then the whole thing where she was the one who I believe got beat up in that hotel hallway, and I wouldn't have testified. Like I would just I was like, I want to go on with my life. It's just one of the problems is
I think they're trying to set it up for other people to come in and say that there's coercion and stuff.
well, they've already started the trial, so they got who they got. The witness
No,
list
but
is
I
already.
think that because they're saying that it's a RICO, I think that they're trying to prove that it's a criminal enterprise through. They're trying to prove that it's a criminal enterprise through sexual favor transactions, and everyone is in on it. I think that that's what they're building this up to.
Now,
I think the problem is Cassie's up in on it as well.
but here's the
And
thing:
we're-
she probably
she's in on
she,
it, but she's also
she probably got a
testifying
deal.
against it.
If she testified, she wouldn't go to jail. That's probably what happened in the back
Possibly,
box.
yeah, I could see that as well.
obviously Epstein.
There's a lot. It's a lot.
Let's be
It's
real.
this
Let's be real here. Have you
I love this Pam.
Maxwell?
We love you.
huh?
Maxwell.
Have no idea.
Yeah, I know a lot about him
very
too.
apparent.
You know who sponsored all that? It was the owner of Victoria's Secret.
Interesting.
Victor's
Yeah.
Secret.
Huh.
Exactly.
Crazy.
There's
That
just
works
a
out.
lot.
Everything.
wait, look, I need a little-
one at a time. One at a
has
time.
a lot of
Real quick.
complicity to do with that.
Public service announcement for all any guys who are watching and you want to improve in your life. Everything you do, the women you do it with will snitch on you. I just want you to know. All you guys, the guy who owned M Brands, the owner of Victoria's Secret, you're right.
LLC, Limited Brands LLC.
Every single thing he did, it comes out in the end. Even like I'm telling you guys, and because of AI and the way we're getting the part with quantum cryptography, we're going to crack every single password for every single website and every single girl you try to hit up on every single fucking seeking arrangement or sugar daddy website. Every single one of them is coming to light. Gentlemen, stop snitching on yourself. If there's anything I tell you, those of you who are involved in my program, those of you who aren't, all of you, when you sit there and write these fucking passive-aggressive messages to women who don't call you back, who stand you up, I can't believe you did this. You're so unaccountable.
Sends
when you leave
10
those messages
and then she
send like 10
doesn't answer.
messages, screw you, all this kind of stuff. Whenever you do this, I need you guys to understand it's on there forever and they will make you look like a fucking clown. Any secrets that you share, they will only be used against you. And I listen to these stories about these men who are just like also, I said this on the last episode. All you dudes, when my girlfriend was living here and you were all talking shit about me to her behind my back, you don't think she told me every single thing you said? Now I know you're a snitch. Now I know you're a snitch. It makes it even worse. And so that's the thing, fellas. Please learn every time you see a big pair of boobies, stop running your stupid ass mouth.
No.
All
right, next video.
Shut up.
I do have to say that the what Diddy did, I don't think there's a punishment on this earth that he needs it way worse than anything that we can present.
All right, we're gonna get wholesome now, just for Jed.
All right, just for Jed.
Okay, here we go.
Age?
22.
Are you single?
No.
How long you had a man?
5 years.
And how long have you had a baby?
He's almost 2.
Was it with him or with somebody else?
Him.
So how much does he have to make to take care of you and your daughter?
At least $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month?
Food, you know, groceries, car insurance, diapers, wipes.
Now, how much would you say a man has to make annually to take care of a family of 3?
Annually, overall, at least 30 grand a year.
On just a baby? Or,
Every expense you would need for a stay-at-home mom and a child.
but if he's spending $30K a year on both you and your daughter, how much more would he need to make to live comfortably?
Oh, we are comfortable. That's comfortable.
So a family of 3 could survive off of just $40K a year?
Yeah. It's just not going to be a lavish lifestyle. But this economy sucks.
So you just make it work.
First of all,
What's the context?
There it is.
What state? What country?
Okay, all right.
New
That is not the point of the video.
Yes,
the
it
point,
is.
the point of the point of the video is your reaction.
Yes.
She has no fucking idea what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Clearly, her man is watching this video and is like, "No, I have to make $200,000 a year for you to even barely make it by."
$1,000 a month is
$1,000 a month
nothing.
is crazy.
Yeah, she's on food stamps.
I can't live off of 30K just for myself.
Of course
let
you
alone
can't
a
live off
family.
30K. We know this.
Yes.
Of
And I'm
course.
a simple
Your
woman.
green hair alone is $10,000.
No, it was 60 a Lux Beauty Supply, but no, yeah.
Jed, can a family of 3 live off of 30K?
Nowhere.
A year? No.
Nowhere.
No.
No.
It's like that Bon
Nowhere.
Jovi song, "Living on a Prayer." We can't.
Well,
Okay.
She
Nowhere.
lives in Lima, Peru.
Okay.
She lives in Managua. Oh, go ahead.
I come from North Dakota originally, so that's one of the least expensive places to live.
Yes.
So
in the United States.
In the
Not
United
in the
States,
world.
yes.
We could go to Burma. It's much
yeah,
cheaper.
but in the
Okay.
United States, it's one of the cheapest places to live. And I would say, okay, so back when I lived there, it was around $500 for my shitty 1-bedroom apartment.
Yes.
But another 1-bedroom apartment with amenities that we have here is $1,200.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends. But I would say that they would have, you would have to make at least $3,000 a month to be able to live pretty comfortably in the most economic.
You're talking about North Dakota right now.
North Dakota.
I think you're not counting in inflation over the last 5 years.
And
I don't
I've
think
been
you
here
can-
for 3, but yeah.
If you have so the average man in the United States makes about $59,000 a year. Okay, that's about the average. That's much higher. I remember my dad. I was seeing $20,000 is how much he paid for a new car. This is in the 1980s. Inflation is pretty massive. And the point of the clip is that how out of touch her and other women are with how expensive it is to live life.
She's
Because
not paying for anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's
She's not paying for anything. Her husband probably saw that video and was like, "Are you effing kidding me? I have to make double that, and it costs double that. Are you kidding me?" And she's probably like, "Oh, really, honey? Oh, I didn't know." She has no freaking clue. She's not making the money. She's not paying any attention. It's amazing. Wow,
What's the
$1,000
cheapest? Maybe ask Perplexity this.
I feel
What's
like
the cheapest
$1,000
state in
is
the
just
nation
on
to live
formula.
It's probably North Dakota.
North Dakota?
Yeah, North Dakota is one of the least expensive places to live.
I'll bet you it's Mississippi.
I have danced in there.
Yeah.
No, but you're not there. I made money.
No, Ohio.
What's the cheapest state in the union to live in? Question mark.
Puerto Rico.
Is United States
Puerto Rico.
Oh, what I mean.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
It was Arkansas and Mississippi.
Hey, sound like she was from Arkansas.
And then West Virginia.
There's no way,
yeah.
man.
Maybe makes sense.
No way.
What do you mean?
I just their legislation, and I have a personal
trigger
against
Trigger?
Mississippi, yeah.
Well, so does All of the Union soldiers from the 1860s. All right, let's go ahead and.
What do you want to do?
Do you want to do another? Just going out.
Let's do Kendra Wilkinson.
Okay, let's do Kendra.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so great. Yeah.
Tina, I took that one-way ticket, never looked back, and it was the best decision of my life. Hugh Hefner calls one day and was like, "Hi, this is Hugh Hefner. Would you like to move into the Playboy Mansion and be one of my girlfriends?" I was like, "Wait, what?"
How did he find you?
While I was living with this boy in San Diego, I did this photo shoot, and this photographer sent my photo into the Playboy Mansion and to the Playboy, and I had no idea. And next thing you know, I get this call. The rumor was that Hef walked by and there was only one photo left out of this pile of photos, and it was mine. And he walked by and he picks it up and he says, "Who's this girl?" That was the story on his end. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. You know, for me, amazing. And it was healthy for me. It was happy for me. I was safe. You know, it's taboo to the world because they don't really know what really, went on there. And my perspective is only one party every few months. And the rest was like, okay, we all had sex with Hugh Hefner once a week. That's the taboo, is that we had sex with a 7-8-year-old.
Did it feel like a transaction in order to be in that environment?
It definitely felt like a transaction, but I was willing to take it. I was 18. I took that one-way ticket, never looked back, and it was the best decision of my life. It was a heavenly experience for me. Like, there couldn't have been a better experience. And, there's two things that can be right. Like, people are like, how can you say that when you have a daughter or whatever? What would you tell your daughter or whatever? And I'm sitting here like, two things can be right. I had to do what I had to do. I had to survive. I was in a survival mode. I chose what I chose. I made the choice to move into the Playboy Mansion, have sex for money with Hugh Hefner, and I actually lived an amazing 5 years of my life.
Ladies, anybody want to comment on this? Zoe, you're making points.
I mean, in this day and age, I was listening to this and I was like, okay, so you had to have sex with this man to live in this big mansion with him and all the other bunnies and shit. But in this day and age, you can have sex with one man once a year and have your own mansion.
Are you talking about Sugar Baby or are you talking about OF?
You got to go out there and fuck him for a good amount of money to get your own mansion. Why are you fucking Hugh Hefner?
Okay.
Why are you fucking Hugh Hefner?
Anybody else have anything to say about this?
She's full of shit.
Okay.
I know that.
Wait, hold on. Genesis, go ahead.
Go find the right man.
Come on. Genesis, go ahead.
I know an OF girl who's Sophie Rain. She's making at least $45 million a year.
Yeah.
And she's never met any of her sugar daddies.
Yes. Sometimes that happens.
Necessarily.
Yes, and that's because she looks like she's under 18, and a lot of these men are basically pedophiles.
Yeah. She manipulates them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't manipulate them. I don't even think I won't even call it manipulate. She persuades them for sure.
She's definitely not 18.
Yes, she is.
No, she's definitely 18. She just the reason why she does so well is because a lot of those OF creators at the Bop House in Miami, they wear braces to make themselves look prepubescent, and because
I also heard that they fake it.
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
I hear that they don't actually have sex on their OnlyFans.
Yeah.
No, of course. Yeah, Sophie Rain, of course. Everyone knows
There's
Sophie Rain.
different markets for OnlyFans girls, and those
Yeah.
girls, they look younger, and there's a lot of weird people in this world who like that kind of stuff. That's not my market. I would never feed that kind of market. But if she wants to do that, let her get her karma. But you know,
you want to feed into that debauchery and into that
debauchery. What are you talking about?
You're talking about Coconut Kid. Oh, Coconut.
Yeah, I wouldn't feed into that for
Every
sure.
girl has their own niche. You got to find your niche.
Okay.
Whatever gonna sell content.
The underage and the younger looking stuff, you want to feed into that with your personal brand?
I wouldn't feed into
No,
that.
she
It's
said
not
would.
okay. Well, I'm not making.
But the other girl that she was mentioning does.
Sophie Rain.
It's on you.
Right. It's on Sophie Rain.
Goes back to the
We're talking about Sophie Rain.
Yeah.
I know I'm a good person, and I make a lot of people happy. I just recently met a fan when I was in New York. He's like, I haven't had sex in 3 years. I've been watching your movies, and it really helped me, and I'm really excited to meet you. And we had the best time. I really actually like this guy now, and he was super successful. He has a big ass house in the city.
Oh, you like this guy?
Yeah, he was actually a
Oh,
cool,
shit.
cool guy.
Oh.
He a fan.
You're a fan. I'll upgrade him a little bit.
Honestly,
Upgrade.
we
Wow.
do get to have great fans, and some of them do want to take care of us, and and they're actually great people, and then it becomes a friendship, and then it can become more.
Got it. Oh, well, let's go back to the whole Kendra thing. So Kendra, one of the problems that Holly Madison has is that Kendra Wilkinson had the exact same experience she did. Now, Holly was the main girlfriend. That is definitely different. But Kendra does not say I was a victim. Kendra does not say I was abused.
I did. That.
Yeah, what I did was, in her estimation, she says was healthy. But my point is, I don't think that it was healthy. But I also don't think that she gets to claim that she's a victim now when she's famous. And by the way, Kendra Wilkinson was hotter than Holly Madison. Kendra Wilkinson was the hottest girl in the world to me in like 05, 06. In the whole world. She was the hottest girl I'd ever seen.
I think she's playing her cards right.
Huh?
I think she's playing her cards right.
I met her at the Playboy Mansion like the year before Hef died. And I was like, even in her like late 30s after 3 kids, she was the hottest girl I had ever seen in my life.
All right, Jed, go.
No, I mean, she's full of shit, honestly. I mean, listen, it's great that she's not blaming somebody else and she's not playing the victim, but she looks traumatized.
Literally,
she has not had an easy life after that. She went through hell. She's talking first saying, I had the best time ever at the Playboy Mansion. Then 5 seconds later, she says, I was in survival mode.
She was in survival mode before she went.
Exactly.
No, she said I did what I had to do to survive. She was referring to going
She
out.
wasn't doing it because that's what she wanted.
She was in survival mode before, and she did it to survive. There's a complete difference.
The point is, I don't think what we're saying is survival mode.
Yeah.
I think what's happened is she went from a $100K lifestyle to a $100 million lifestyle, and once you're up there, you don't want to come back down.
But Mike,
if you came back down, then you don't survive.
Mike, does she look healthy and happy to you? Does she look stable and healthy and happy and like this experience was good for her?
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I've seen way worse than this, but yeah, I see your point.
I mean, her message, and it's the same message as, and listen, with all due respect to everyone on the panel, I understand you're all career women, but the message should not be do this stuff, sell your body, make money off of being, half naked with a whole bunch of strange men, go to the Playboy Mansion. That should not be the message to young women. That's not a good message. I don't care how much money you're making.
Society.
This is not about money. This is about your self-respect and your dignity at the end of the day. And that's why so many girls who do this line of work, you see Lily Phillips, you see all the porn stars, they're crying at the end of the day. So many of them are destroyed on the inside. You want to talk about trauma? This is how it happens. So instead of that message, she should say, hey, listen, you know what? It brought me a lot of money. That's great. But it also broke the hell out of me in a lot of ways.
Do you realize that the reason why that is because one, society, and two, men don't take care of women like they used to?
Men don't take care of women like they used to.
Yeah,
they don't.
I mean, but the other problem is the earning. But the earning potential for women outside of porn is exponentially higher than it was from the 1970s. Again, college degree.
Let women get the little
college degrees.
Men have become more women-like than women nowadays, and now they want to be the little prissies in the kitchen, doing whatever, doing nothing, and half the time they don't even do that. They want to do nothing, not have a job, not cook, not clean.
That's not true.
They want their women to come home and with the money and cook and clean too.
But that's the type of
you're
man.
Picking the wrong dudes.
That's the type of man.
I agree with Jed.
That's the type of man that you're attracting because you're
that's
also.
Why I don't talk to men like that.
But but you're also saying in the same breath that if a real man, a guy came to you and said, I want to be with you. I want to respect you. I want to take care of you, but you got to stop spreading it for everybody else. You wouldn't give it to that man. So you're attracting these wimpy, simpy, nothing guys because that's who's going to put up with your line of work, to be completely honest with you.
No. Because here's the thing. No.
That is it. No masculine guy.
Men in the industry and other industries that do not care that I fucking go and
Jessica,
do what my job is.
You're agreeing with her actually because the guys in the industry are also putting themselves in maybe not putting themselves in a situation, but you aren't going to get monogamy from them either.
No,
Does that make
monogamous
sense?
is different when you're in the industry. It's a different kind of monogamy.
Okay, regardless, they're still going to have non-contextual sexual intercourse with multiple women.
I don't expect someone who's not in the industry to understand, and that is
right.
And that's fine. That's fine.
What you're saying is I'm getting a high-status man who will sleep with other men. Sleep with other women. And other men. I mean, real talk.
I know gay women. There's nothing like men too.
No, but the
I'm
point.
sorry, fluid. I'm sorry, the word is fluid.
Fluid.
Fluid. I get a high status fluid man.
But the point that's being made is that men aren't taking care of women. And the guys that are taking care of women aren't going to be dating someone who's doing OF work. That's the bottom line. They're not interested in that. So that's what I'm saying. You're attracting the kind of guys that you're right about because they're okay with you going and sleeping with other guys.
Camila's been having a boyfriend since high school, and he literally,
She
and
also
she's a
doesn't
bop.
fuck on camera.
Yeah.
She doesn't fuck on camera. So like it's a little difference. And she's also like associated with Sophie Rain, which is like the biggest fucking, you know.
Upper echelon.
Yeah.
I mean,
and real talk, Camila's fucking hilarious.
I love her. I love her.
While I agree with what you're saying, Jed, I don't think Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, or Annie Knight are really good examples here because they are laughing and crying and giving you whatever emotional high they possibly can, all the way to the fucking bank. Yeah. Because
but wasn't there that
every time they do this, it's every time they go out there and I don't know up the number again. All it is just more publicity. The reason I say that is because Bonnie Blue got arrested today for some.
Shut up!
For,
I did not know
for,
that.
Like, for getting the guy who was underage. Like one of the guys was underage.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's disgusting.
What guy?
But I don't
She has
know.
no moral compass.
Number 64. I'm not really sure.
No,
but they're
pathetic. That's idiotic.
It's hilarious. That was a rookie mistake.
Here's the thing. It's like they showed the video.
Guys,
of her.
stop talking while he's talking.
They showed the video of her being marched out in handcuffs and put into the cop car or whatever, and I'm like, I believe none of this. I believe nothing.
I honestly don't. I think it's a stunt. They paid for
that's
that
exactly
to happen.
what they
There's
do.
fake cops that are in LA all the time. You know, like the influencer cops.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what put Lily Phillips on the map was she did that quote unquote documentary that she paid for, so she could sort of like weep a little bit on camera. And what happened? You got Michael Knowles, you got Matt Walsh, you got all the usual suspects from Daily Wire who just wanted to pile on oh, poor girl, see, this is what pornography does to you. And you know what? She played them like fucking puppets.
So it was
exactly what she was trying to do.
It was later debunked. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
The
Rollo,
police car was.
Let me ask Rollo.
Debunked?
Yeah, it was debunked.
Rollo, so
Yeah.
are you suggesting that those women aren't broken by their behavior?
I think eventually they will be, but right now they're laughing. They're very good at playing the game. They're very good at manipulating social media.
So then they're not.
They'll be the first ones to admit it too.
So here's I understand where you're coming from, Jedediah. So like from us, we kind of like look at the world from a socioeconomic standpoint, whether or not someone's broken or not. Like you're right. She probably is. She probably is broken.
She absolutely is.
Right. But the way we look at things on the show, because we're both pretty libertarian, is that like Bonnie Blue isn't the problem, and Lily Phillips isn't the problem. The problem is 1,000 men wanted to have sex with them. That is fucking crazy. If you're guy number 776
with little snow masks
and you're
on,
sitting
too.
there waiting to have sex with this woman, you go in there and it smells like sex. It's like disgusting.
Those women are business women.
I'm not talking.
Yeah,
For the second time, I didn't say they were the problem.
No, I'm just
Yes.
adding to what you're saying.
The problem is that we live in a society where 1,000 men would be willing to stand there for free and have sex with this girl. And these aren't porn stars. And here's the craziest part. I'll bet you 700 or 800 of them, she's the hottest girl they'll ever be with.
Okay, for the Bonnie Blue thing at the Bop House, those were porn stars. I know most of every single one that was in that in the queue.
Wait, she did that at the Bop House, or she did that with
It wasn't the 1,000 one. It was 100. The gangbang. All of them. Yes.
No,
all,
I don't think they did. I don't think Bop
I think
House.
it was in LA, babe.
They did.
It was in LA.
No.
Yeah, it was in
Keep
LA.
that girl out.
It was at the Bop House, and it was with Camila and what's her fucking name, the blonde one. Yeah.
She flew Julia
Yeah.
to LA. It wasn't in Miami.
Either way, I know
It's too
most.
expensive to get all those guys to Miami. Like,
There's no way, but the Bop House.
I
would let
know
1,000.
most of those men that were on there, and I see all these comments on TikTok being like, "Oh, who's that guy? Who's that guy?" And blah blah blah. They're like, "This is this guy," and I'm like, "Actually, I'm friends with him, and it's actually this guy and this guy and this guy
Right,
and
but
this
there
guy."
aren't 1,000 working porn stars.
No, it's not the
Like,
1,000 one.
There aren't 1,000 working studio porn stars in Los Angeles right now. Period.
It wasn't the 1,000. It wasn't the 1,000 one.
I bet there aren't 1,000
women.
No,
It was
I'm
a
not
different
including
gangbang.
guys who fuck their girlfriends on OF. And there aren't 1,000 working studio porn stars right now in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
like
that
the
are-
whole city.
that are like active.
Yes, there are not
I have
1,000
a
right
couple
now.
of my guy friends there too.
Exactly.
It was like all the top industry guys that
It
are
was.
like just shooting now.
And it's so funny because one of them was like my
But I
friend.
was really proud of her because she actually took real dicks. Because I was like, oh, this bitch is taking these little fucking small guys that they don't ever fuck. I was like, because I was mad at her because she was just taking these small guys who never fucked. They were like one pump chumps.
Yes.
Why does that matter?
It does.
And because those guys are bigger. and they
I'm
actually
so proud of her.
So she,
I'm
and
so
not,
proud
real
of her.
slut.
And not
I like
only
real
that,
sluts,
you know what
know?
she's gonna do with this money? She's gonna take all of this money and she's going to make something else. She's gonna make a whole different business with it.
One more time. While I understand
She's
what
gonna
you're
be
saying,
rich.
She's gonna get into real estate.
Trying to save Bonnie Blue or Lily Phillips
not
is
gonna
not
happen.
the issue.
No.
The issue is whoever these men were. Like after, like any of them, I wish I could have like almost prophetized to them, discipled to them, like in Christianity. Like, brother, let's try another way. 1,000 of you are waiting to have sex with this girl. Come on, something's broken.
Yeah, but
up
Mike,
here.
you're looking at it from the perspective of these guys being losers, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you're talking about, socioeconomic. But what I'm saying is, be honest now. Would you take any woman seriously who had sex with other men on camera? Just a simple yes or no. Ever?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
Wait,
that's.
what do you mean by seriously? You mean
Would
like
you
marry?
seriously? Would you put a ring on it? Would you bring her home
No.
to mom?
Okay, so
would you
I want to
ever
get. I
do
want.
any
I
of
just
those
want a
things?
definition of what you're saying is serious.
Yeah, that's serious
Yeah,
to me.
okay.
Marriage, children, a
Yeah.
real future. So my perspective as a female is, I have heard since I'm sitting here, a lot of girls say, this is work, it's different. This is work, it's different. And what I'm trying to tell these women is it's not different to the men that they're ultimately going to want to attract in 10 years because
Well,
those
good thing I
guys
don't
are
care
not
what
going to
men
want
think.
any part of it. Now, you say you want to date someone only in the industry. Maybe you're different because you're going to go for a niche. But a lot of women wake up out of this OnlyFans nightmare that some of y'all are in, and they say, you know what, I want a traditional man. I don't want to do this anymore. And that traditional man is not going to be able to unsee all this crap. So I try to shake women because it's destructive to them long term and they don't see it. So I'm looking at it from that perspective more than, okay, they made money, they're going to start a business. Great, you made money, you're going to start a business. You're broken, you're shattered, you've got trauma, and no guy that you would ever seriously want to marry is going to take you seriously. That's a problem.
I promise you, my trauma is beyond this. Ever since I started porn, no one has ever given me trauma when I'm in porn.
No, Judge, and I agree with you 100%. I think you're right.
And I don't care what men think, to be honest. I really don't. If they don't want to be with fucking
I believe that you.
Bro,
I believe that you don't.
You
care
may
what
be a
men think.
unique-
I 100% believe you that you don't care what men think.
I'm just saying, men fuck sheeps. Like, you guys.
Men fuck sheep.
Like, you guys fuck anything. Like,
That is the ultimate trump card. Discussion over.
yeah, they do.
Men
like, I
fuck
don't care about men's
sheep.
opinion
I like
ever.
this girl.
We have been taken.
We're
up
now
with
going to be friends.
You know who you should have on this show, Mike?
When you're done.
All right, can we get to some super chats here real quick?
put
Shout
them.
out to Siege D, Yo Sartain, Rolo, great job in Miami with Access Vegas. Brandon Carter with Sartain and Fresh with Rolo. Bummer I couldn't make it to the white party. And also that same week, my interview with Jedediah Bila came out, and that was a lot of fun to do that. That was 7 o'clock in the morning. I have never gotten up that early since I was.
You did great.
I wake up like that every day.
Yay, Jed made it. Glad she's. Siege also said, yay, Jed made it. Glad she's back on YouTube calling out nasty women. Nasty.
Okay.
This works pretty well.
I bet you're not
like
an
Andrew
alpha
Wilson
either.
or whatever remotely. And then Sora Media, Cassie's man, a soldier. I would have filed 4 divorces mid-court. Shout out to Alina and George. That's funny.
We love George.
George.
Actually, he messaged me before we came.
Yeah.
He's like, tell Michael and Royo I said hi.
Okay, for sure. Shout out to George. Women are not special. They're just creatures following their visceral instincts in a social order that rewards them for it. Cassie,
what
is
are
nothing
men
more
$10
than
to
a
comment
textbook
that?
example
What are
of it.
men doing? We're all doing the
Life
same
in
thing.
The world as a man.
We're all doing the same thing.
Rational redneck. Hey guys,
baby.
time
Hold on,
out.
give it down, give it down, give it down.
Ceasefire. Ceasefire.
Hold it.
Ceasefire.
We got to run through these.
So I support.
the guys I know.
Hold on. I support the message of female empowerment and independence. On an unrelated note, I also have 2 foster cats that need good. That's hilarious. All right. If any, Martin Pierce, he says, if any of you girls actually meet the man of your dreams, he checks all the boxes and it finds out your past and leaves. What do you do?
Get under another
Bye.
one.
Get on
Get
my
under
knees.
another one.
Nasty.
Get on to another one.
I'll get on my knees and
I would
pray.
get out the game.
Anybody who would get out
I
of the
would
game?
get out the game.
She would get
if
out of the
I
game.
love someone and
Genesis
he's
would get out of the
taking
game.
care
On a
of me,
serious note, I
if
agree
you have
with
the
you.
money
Yeah.
to take me out, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I've
For
had
sure.
that before.
Yeah,
and it
sure.
doesn't have to be a boyfriend. It
For sure.
doesn't have to be a boyfriend. It
Is
could
it?
be a
Is
trick.
it? Is it? It could be a
Yeah, get
She
your
said
bag,
it could
girl.
be a trick. So is it Chipotle money or is it Toca Madera money?
We
Which
love
o-
Toka. I love Toka.
Never been there.
Cree.
Okay.
Yes.
You were going to say something.
I was, but I forgot.
Okay, good. Rational Redneck, do any of the girls know the song Pink Pony Club?
Of course.
It's a song that celebrates a small town girl moving out west to be a stripper and disappointing her family. Why do women like songs like
That's
this?
literally me.
I worked there in Miami,
Yeah.
the actual club, because they're
So
associated.
so Jed, I'll take Jed and I to Sapphire or Rhino one day. And when we go there, they play the song Pink Pony Club, and these strippers go nuts, bonkers.
Really?
They go
Anthem, you know?
nuclear. They go crazy. Yes, because it's just like every girl that I know that had no level of accountability in her life. Do you know what was always above her bed? A picture of Marilyn Monroe. Every single one of them. Marilyn Monroe is not the patron saint of being beautiful. She's the patron saint of not having any accountability whatsoever, completely, literally dating, like married to Joe DiMaggio while cheating with Frank Sinatra. Like literally no no accountability. She is the patron saint of no accountability. And so it's the same kind of situation here. These girls are like, yes, I disappointed my family too. Go girl. And they go crazy with that song. And by the way, it's a catchy ass song. I'm not gonna lie.
I am one of them. I am from the Midwest, and I did move out west.
Yes.
And I do what I do.
Yes.
Now, my family does know that I do what I do,
Yes.
and they haven't said much about it.
Right. Because you send them money back. That's why.
Shut up.
Question for a Rational Redneck. Question for Mike. First in line to fight the gorilla, or last in line for Bonnie Blue's next?
That's a good question.
I got exactly that same question on Fresh's show.
I mean,
Someone's watching.
God damn, that's really rough. I put in the chat, guys. First in line. Put in the chat what you think. First in line for the gorilla,
Say
or last
gorilla
in
or
line,
Bonnie.
or last in line to bang. But honestly, what's the difference between number 50 and number 1,000?
Wait, I have a question.
And the answer is MGen. Go ahead.
When she did this, did she have all the guys tested and everything
Yes.
too? Okay, that was my main
Do you
question.
understand how much that would cost to get that many tests?
Because I'm like, I wouldn't want to be the guy right after the guy with an STD.
Low end, $50 a test.
No, it's 230.
It's
230 at each test.
Dude, that's
from talent
that's
testing.
200. That's like
230.
That's
from talent
$200,000.
So
I
did
just
they
got
pay
tested this
for
morning.
it, or,
It's
like-
230.
It's 230.
Photoshop is amazing, so I feel
No,
like
don't even put that kind of energy out there. That's like
Regardless,
low
that's
vibration
disgusting.
stuff.
yeah, no,
Period.
I'm not. It's a joke.
Low key, when my
Whether
friend was
tested or
able
not.
to mess with Bonnie Blue, I was jealous because I wasn't a man and able to fuck her. So
And I'm not. And I met Lily Phillips the other day, and did you see the quote in my thing? It said, "Why be 1 in a million when you could be 1 in 1,000?" And people got so angry. They were writing all these all these nasty messages to me. And Lily Phillips, very nice lady, would not have sex with you, unfortunately. She's very pretty. Actually, very pretty in
Gorgeous
person.
girl.
But
Bonnie Blue, if you're seeing this, hit me up. I would love
Yes,
to
for
work
sure.
with you.
Yeah, fly to Australia. Okay, we got this. Let's do this one.
Love how when you get a divorce, all of a sudden it costs like 50 grand a month to give a kid Fruit Loops. Right? These guys, I'm telling you, there is an epidemic of gold digging whores in this country. And it is just not being addressed on any level.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? Every guy out there is just getting, nobody's safe.
Oh my God.
Nobody's safe. Football players, actors, politicians.
Nobody.
And they never get called whores. Arnold Schwarzenegger's maid is still called the maid in the story. She knew his wife on a first name basis, hooked up with this dude in their bed, and is still called the maid. Why did she bang him? Why?
Yeah.
Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking, right? You don't think it's because of that kindergarten cop money he's got laying around the room? I'm not, and listen, I'm not condoning what the man did, but there just needs to be, guys need to be educated. There's nothing out there to help a guy handle becoming rich and famous for that platoon of whores that's gonna come over the hill. Like Braveheart, faces painted, skirt on, just running down the hill. Yes, there's nothing out there. No, it's like guys never learn how to keep themselves in check. Society does it for you.
Yeah.
Just women aren't going to bang you because you drive the forklift at Home Depot, right? Despite the fact that you want to bang all of them, they're not going to do it. So you didn't keep yourself in check. The forklift job did, right? I'm so sick of all these trolls coming on TV. All these guys, anytime one of these guys gets caught for screwing around, these guys come waddling out of their cubicles with their jowls, their absolutely reprehensible behavior. Like, they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level.
Oh, my God. Dad, what do you think?
That's old school.
That is old school. Man, the gold diggers are everywhere. It is true. And the celebrities, it's always so interesting to me, these celebrities that seem like they don't know the game. Like, it's almost like some of these guys at their most basic level are just like the horny high school kid that never got laid. And they wind up getting all this money and getting all this fame, and they get trapped, and they cheat, they wind up in a scandal, and it's like, then all of a sudden someone's pregnant, they wind up spending all of their money, and it's like, does no one teach these guys that, like...
No, here's what the thing is. In order for them to become famous, they must worship at the altar of wokeism. I'm not trying to be facetious here. I'm being serious. There's only so far you can go in Hollywood by being a conservative. There's a ceiling for that. And then past that, you'll see these liberal men, part of their liberality is, hey, it's not that big of a deal if a guy flirts with my girl. Why am I so insecure? It's not that big of a deal. No, men and women are the same. That's what they are taught to believe. And so because of that, they're just like if you took what we talk about, these women panderers all the time. So Chris GQ Perry, Will Hitchens, Justin Baldoni, and Derek Jackson. There's several other guys like this. All they do is make women pandering content. They get millions of likes online. But if they were to follow their own, directions, they were to follow their own instructions, all of them would be divorced. All of them would be cheated on. All of them would quickly realize what they're doing doesn't work. But it still doesn't fit the narrative. The woke narrative is more important than the reality, which is you have to maintain a boundary when you're with a woman, and men and women are different. And so they choose not to believe that boundary. And there's that great video we showed it before of Jason Momoa hugging this girl while pushing her boyfriend away. And everyone thought it was so funny. But the reason why Jason Momoa did that, not because he was trying to alpha this dude, it's because he's been taught by the woke liberal agenda, the Hollywood industrial complex that he belongs to, that type of behavior is acceptable. And you should accept your girlfriend doing that. Why are you so hurt, bro? What's so wrong with you, bro? That's what's going on. Make sense?
The camera could see it.
Go ahead. One of the girls was asking another girl for blow. Sorry, just keep going. Just forget about it. Forget about it. Just keep going.
Oh God.
Anyway, any of you guys have a response to Bill Burr?
No.
Hollywood cuck chair.
Platoon of whores.
Platoon of whores. Anybody?
I mean, he sounds kind of bitter.
Yeah.
He sounds like
maybe somebody took some of his money.
Yeah, it sounds like his money should have got taken.
To be honest, as soon as he was talking, I just didn't want to hear
I was really
Do
confused.
you think that you can drag a woman through the mud?
I don't know what. Most of your videos I comprehend and I'm like enjoy, but that one, as soon as he started talking, I just zoned out. And I tried zoning back in to understand, and I just was lost the whole time.
Maybe it was his tone of voice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the Boston accent.
I don't think it was
if he was hotter, no, I'm just
kidding. If he was hotter,
I would have been hot. I'm just playing.
So there's a survey that came out where they actually look at the dehumanization. So when humans see unattractive people, they dehumanize them. It's just a function of nature. You just don't see them the same way. And men, when they see, so basically the finding was when men see unattractive women, they get annoyed. When women see unattractive men, they don't see them at all.
They're invisible.
They're invisible.
Oh.
They're invisible. So
sorry.
It's like, Bill Burr wasn't hot enough for them to get the joke, Jedediah.
Does that change if they can see their wallet, Mike?
Yeah, if they can see their wallet,
It's bulging out for sure.
No, I need you to step on your
Well,
wall.
he's obviously on the show, and that still didn't affect my mindset.
Bill Burr is one of the most famous comedians in the world.
He's married, happily married. Like
Yeah.
he
probably is now.
Tom Segura, that's my favorite comedian.
Yeah, you like him?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
nice.
He's the worst.
Hold on.
All right, I used this video on my show like 2 weeks ago. So
Okay,
I just thought, but this was pretty good. I'm actually glad you put this in your list.
Cheating on him for 3 years with his best friend. We had 2 kids, 3 and 6 years old. And he could have walked away, should have walked away, could have. And when all this came out, And I hid it for 3 years in the church. When all of this came out, he looked at me and listen, a good therapist knows your feelings are valid and you can feel all of those things. He was mad. He was hurt. He was confused. He was disoriented. All those things were still true. None of that was underscored or not a part of his experience. But what was also a part of his experience, because he had been submitting and surrendering to the Lord so faithfully for so long, was he literally looked at me, and all I expected him to do was exactly what every man had done in my life, my dad, all these other men, was to leave. And instead, he looked at me and he said, Casey, I don't know how to not love you. That is when Jesus became my Lord. That is when I got grace for the first time in my life. I realized that that is what Jesus had been saying to me all along. You don't understand, girl. You know, you can run from me. You can hide from me. You can be mad at me. You can do all these things. And the reality is, I don't know how to not love you.
Okay. Jedediah, I don't know how familiar you are with the Old Testament, but how it works with cheating women is like, it's the Lord that made him stay. Anybody? What do you think?
She found the Lord. He found the Lord. Everyone found the Lord while because she was sleeping with some other random guy. The beginning of that
it was
video.
his best friend.
Wait, the beginning says
his best friend.
We have
It's
Southern
3 years?
Southern Utah and Southern Baptist in the house. What would you like to know?
So wait, it was
make you
3
uncomfortable.
years.
It's
She's
like something
sleeping.
that
Did I get that right?
Okay, hold on. Time out. Let's let Jedediah talk real quick. Go ahead,
Mike, I
Jedediah.
think I got,
Yes.
so for 3 years, she was sleeping with his best friend?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know, like, why
And 2 kids.
societally are we supposed to always praise the idiot guy? Why are we supposed to always praise a guy who puts up with this stuff, who says, I don't know how to love you after she's sleep? This is like the idiot guy always that we're supposed to say he's doing the right thing, right? And somehow everybody finds God in the equation and it's all a beautiful story, even though she was screwing his best friend for I mean, come on, man.
Okay, but what do you think about the women that stay with?
You know what?
the
Let
cheating
Miss
man?
Rachel cook.
What do you say about the women who stay with the cheating men?
I'm personally not into cheating, so that
But,
for
like,
me is
it's
not.
You're like, oh, they praise the men for staying, but what about the women who stay with their man? That
Well,
cheat?
women do get praised for staying.
They do get praised.
But the only difference right now is the camera.
What do you mean?
Well,
Like,
the
she's
only
on a
difference between-
podcast,
The only difference
yeah.
between cheating and not cheating right now, as we've established, is the camera.
Yeah, well, that she's cheating. Well, she probably told her husband, and he knew about it.
See, if he were to say, like, I just don't know how to not love you, that would have given me the ick. Because are you delusional? I just slept with your best friend for 3 years, and you're going to tell me you don't know how
Monica,
to love me?
you win the award for the most self-aware woman on the panel.
Because, like,
Yes.
what? I would be like, I would just do it again. Because, like, you don't know how to not love me. Like, bro, what? What?
Okay,
That's
so
not love.
there's a bigger issue here that concerns me as a Christian. That concerns me is that now we're using the church to absolve us of past mistakes.
Yeah.
I can forgive you, no doubt, and you and I can raise these children together. But no, the fuck, we're not staying together in a marriage. That is absurd. It says clearly in the Bible, he who puts his hand to the plow while looking back is not fit for the kingdom of God. And that's how stupid you are if you say with someone like that. God did not ask you to be stupid. All right. And so because of that, what I'm going to say again is what's happened is in the church, women who have a promiscuous background are going to the church and asking for absolution. Men who have no experience with women are still in the church, remaining a virgin until they're 24, 25, 26. When we put these two together,
That's a thing.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. You get these women who have advanced technology. These women and then these men who are incredibly naive, and they are destroying these men. The church is creating these crazy couples where these virgin men are end up hooking up with former sex workers, and it is not good for anyone.
First of all, who's a virgin at 24?
Guys who follow the Bible.
There's
That's the
quite
point.
a few,
That's
I
exactly
feel
the point
like,
I'm trying to make.
I grew up in Southern Utah quite personally, so.
But there are guys that are virgins out there. Yes.
There
By the way,
are,
a guy being a virgin into his 20s Because I have
taking virginity.
I have 4,000 clients. I know several guys that are like this because they're just too short for you to notice. They're too short for you to notice.
But that's not true. That's because they need to work on their confidence, because women do notice them if they're confident and they actually want to approach them, not this like, oh, too bad for me, blah, blah, blah. That's not the kind of mentality women want. We want confidence. We want some guy that knows what they want. And I could take a guy that's short. I could take a guy that has no money, but I need that confidence to approach me.
I've even taken a guy who's ugly, so.
Yeah, I've done it all, bitch.
So both you're willing to take all three, because I'm not.
Yeah. I've done all three before, not anymore, you know? I've been through all the guys. I've been through all the fucking different
And again,
stories.
I completely believe you. What you just said.
I dated the broke guy. I dated the millionaire. I've been
just
a
said is true,
millionaire. I've
Natalia.
been on private jets. I've done all of that stuff. So that doesn't impress me. I've been with celebrities, you know.
Okay.
They're just
Well,
people.
again, I believe all this. Now, what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of guys that go into their 20s, late 20s that are virgins. About a third of men.
I don't think I've ever met one.
Well, they're not going to tell you. Why would they ever tell you that?
Yeah, they're going to fake it.
You imagine? First off, any guy who's a virgin probably has so little social acuity, you'd never end up in the same place with him. You'd never see it. So, no, why would they ever tell you?
Oh, it's because I don't leave my house. Got it.
You don't leave? Yeah.
I don't leave my house.
They don't leave their house either.
Scenario. You got a guy who's 24 years old. He's a virgin. And you're like, you're down to fuck, right? And he's ready. He doesn't want to. He's never gonna fuck it. He's like, I can't believe I'm gonna get with a porn star.
It's gonna be 2 seconds. He's gonna look at me and it'd be done. It won't even get to the sex because it.
You're not going to know.
I would take my top off and it'd be done.
At me, and it would just.
The prosecution rests its case.
You're
Your
not
Honor.
going to know until afterwards.
Yes.
But I do
That
feel
he
like
was
there
a
is
virgin.
kind of a stigma. Like, I feel like a lot of guys, like, more than what people think are like virgins, but I feel like when a guy who's in his 20s says that he's a virgin, like people automatically think like, well, why haven't you gotten laid? Like things like that. But I do sometimes feel like people choose that because they do want to wait for the right person. Not everybody out here are whores, like, but but like I feel like people do kind of like, ooh, why haven't you had sex yet? Which I feel like it's fine, but honestly, I wouldn't want to take someone's virginity at 20. I'm gonna be honest.
We'll say
like,
whore is a pretty broad spectrum.
Yeah, I'm very sarcastic when I talk. I don't know if y'all caught on to that.
Okay,
but yeah.
Going back to the original point here.
Yeah.
She was like I started to follow God because this 3 times outside the normal standard deviation thing happened to me where I cheated with this guy for a long time. Instead of what really should happen is him following God would have led him to a better wife. That is just my personal belief.
I agree with that.
Him following God would have found a better mother for his.
All right, let me explain this to you, Jed, because Jed asked a really good question, which is why do we praise this, right? Why do we find this guy somehow ennobling because he's that forgiving, and now suddenly we're going to turn it into a religious experience and everything else? I'll break it down for you. Here's the reason why: because it completes the female mating strategy. That's why. She's got 2 kids. She's been banging his best friend for 3 years. These are the facts right here, okay? So the best friend is satisfying her sexual needs while the other guy is there satisfying her long-term security needs. He's there to pay for he's the cuck. He's there to pay for the kids, pay for the security, pay for the provisioning, protection, and parental investment. The guy is there, just like we were talking about Cassie. Alex? Is that what his name was? Alex. We're going to praise that guy. Why? Because we're not going to find any way to sort of absolve that woman of her actions. And what is she doing? She's got one guy for alpha fucks. She's got another guy for beta bucks. And the beta bucks guy is the one who's like, that's okay, babe. I'm going to forgive you, right? And that does a number to a chick when
Why does
when
he have
she
to
is
forgive her?
well
Like,
when she's found out.
In this case, he did.
Well, when she's found out and she's saying, "Okay, I'm having sex with your best friend," and then I'm still married to a guy who would forgive me for fucking my best friend, his best friend, for the last 3 years. That's the kind of guy she has to wake up to the next morning, sleeping next to him.
Can we also admit that her abusing Anavar probably made her more promiscuous?
Well, did he forgive the best friend? Like, did he forgive the wife and then?
I guarantee you he forgave the best friend.
Yeah. I feel like he wouldn't have. Like, I feel like really.
You he did. Yes.
I love that you brought that
into
into it.
last point. The reason why we praise this and we put it into a religious context is because, well, first of all, Christianity is based on forgiveness. So that's why it is so attractive to women is because I can do all this shit and then I can get a get out of hell free card. No problem. I'm gonna go and convert to Christianity because that seems like the best, most pragmatic way for me to go. And however I'm gonna rationalize this to myself, I'm still fucking his best friend for 3 years, and this is the kind of guy that I'm still married. So I've got to find some sort of rationale or some way to sort of resolve this in my psyche as to I'm with this guy. I am married to the type of guy who would forgive me for fucking his best friend for 3 years. And so how does that play out in a social sense? It only plays out because women need that absolution for having alpha fucks and beta bucks because she can't find it in the same guy.
But people watching the clip, right? By and large, I think societally, we're like, a lot of people will sit and say, oh, look how much he loves her. Now, if you flipped that story, let's say you changed the roles and the guy had slept with the woman's best friend, do you think people would have that same reaction?
I would say that she's dumb as fuck.
Do you think the same reaction would happen if it was a flipped situation? I'm curious.
You know my answer.
Only if he's bisexual.
Fluid, yeah.
Yeah, fluid. Yes. Christianity's known for fluid guys.
Yes. No, I mean, obviously, there'll probably be a double standard. I will say this, Jed.
Huge.
When women take their husbands back, they don't get made fun of as much as men who take their wives back when they cheat.
Why do you
I do think there's a
about
massive
everyone
double
else's
standard.
opinion? Why do people care so much about other people's opinion? Like,
let society.
Because we're on a podcast, first off, and number two, when Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, she did not lose one single record sale.
Yeah,
she
but-
didn't lose one
Yeah.
single $billion
She made
because of that.
money.
When Hillary Clinton was cheated on by
Monica
Bill Clinton,
Lewinsky.
by Bill Clinton, she was lauded for staying with her man. This is in general what happens. What happened to Will Smith? What happened to Will Smith's stature professionally?
Literally.
Just it decimated.
I think Beyonce's stupid for staying with Jay-Z.
I understand, but the majority of people did not criticize her, or she didn't lose anything professionally because she got cheated on.
No, but she
not
gained.
one single thing.
She
gained.
gained.
And
She
Will Smith
gained.
did not gain because he was cheated on by Jada Pinkett.
I mean, he didn't
that's the
gain
difference.
from being cheated on with Jada Pinkett. The thing about it is that I feel like he was kind of complicit in it. So there was a level of understanding.
He's complicit in it because he's
No, but
because he has kids.
not only
no,
that-
he's complicit in it because he's a hostage.
Not only
He's
that-
married to a psychopath.
You got
That's why.
You gotta remember that Jada made him look
He
like
could have left at any
Oh,
point.
stop.
Go ahead.
You gotta remember that Jada made him look like a chump.
Yeah, but he
In
also
front of the whole world.
While I agree with you, he also is a chump. It also did happen. She also did have sex with August and their entanglement. That also did happen. Like the thing is, well, I
They
understand
always
what
go
you're
to sex parties. They were known to go to all the.
How many times did he cheat on her?
All the time.
How many
They're
times did he
open
cheat on her?
Okay. Let's say they're in a complete open relationship. Let's say Will Smith is bisexual. Let's say all of it's acceptable.
He is.
He still got tomahawk dunked on by
Because
his
it went
fucking
public.
girl,
That's
and his
because it
status,
went
if it was
public.
100 before, is a 20 now.
I mean-
That's my point.
But he also still stood up for her. Like, no matter the disrespect, people have to understand marriage is also a partnership. It's not just about like how you feel on some days about each other. It's about having each other's back. No
G.I.
matter
Jane
what.
was a great. G.I. Jane was a great movie.
In her book,
Demi Moore was hot as shit in that movie.
It was a great movie, but also that's
That wasn't an
disrespectful.
insult.
It's disrespectful to a woman who's going through certain things. I've had alopecia and had to grow my hair back before.
Do you understand? Hold on. Do
But-
you guys understand?
But
If there
calling
was,
her G.I. Jane,
if there was a G.I. Jane 2, and let's say Demi
Yeah.
Moore was an executive producer,
Yeah.
that would be above anything
But-
Jada
Yeah,
Pinkett
it-
as an
I'ma-
actress
no,
could get.
I'ma
Do you guys
say-
understand?
What?
Jada Pinkett being a leading actress in an action movie
But
like
also
that,
I'm-
she couldn't even do that. That wasn't an insult.
But can I?
That actually
in her-
wasn't an insult.
You're talking about like respect and stuff, but in her book, she was so disrespectful about how she talked about him. So like that's what blows my mind is like, how are you going to be disrespectful to your man even though he's standing up for you? In that book, like people can read that book for generations. Like that's hella disrespectful what she did
so
to
if
him.
you want if you want not the rhetorical answer, the actual
Yeah.
answer, she is a certified narcissist. And I don't mean that in the
Well,
like
yeah,
in the
like,
sort
yeah.
of colloquialism. I mean literal
I think I've
narcissistic
acquired
personality
brain
disorder and quite possibly a psychopath. The reason why Jada Pinkett has such a problem is because her whole identity was based on her being an actress. And the reality is she was an actress because she was an actress who mainly got roles because she's very physically attractive. She was in. Hold on. She got it because she's physically attractive, and she married a man. Oh, time out. Stop. She got married to a man who is clearly better at being an actor than she was, and is more famous than she is, and is more pursuit from the opposite sex. And so her way of getting back was this.
Well,
that was.
You also got to remember the Tupac thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's.
But again, he is bigger than her.
You have to remember that there's so many things that are underlying in the situation, and we're just
We don't know them. You know?
we don't know the underlying.
I think we know the underlying thing.
We don't know the underlying thing.
With Will Smith, I think we
Will
understand the
Smith,
underlying thing.
And
Yes.
it's like, dude, I think that everyone forgets about the drama that came out around Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was doing a lot of shit and embarrassing Jada Pinkett Smith as well. And as a woman of my stature, Jada Pinkett Smith is an icon, not only as an actress, but also in literature. I love Jada Pinkett Smith, and I think that she stands on business.
She definitely stands on business, and I would never marry her.
Yeah.
There you go.
Never marry her.
And I would recommend all of you don't marry her either.
I'd marry her. I would too.
All right, next one. Yeah. Here we go. Oh boy, here's Mackin.
Science of post-nut clarity and how is it different between the genders. Post-nut clarity is hypothesized by Dr. David Buss to be an adaptation that evolved to facilitate a seduce and abandon strategy in males. Some men report feelings of intense disgust and revulsion and aversion after reaching completion, and these feelings are often directed at the person that they just mated with. What explains this? Well, male mammals can engage in a seduce and abandon strategy where they copulate with a female and then leave without investing in the offspring at all, right? Potentially that's a free point in the game of evolution. Now, this isn't the norm for humans because we're a species that exhibits biparental care. Males generally engage in a lot of investment in offspring, but that doesn't mean that it would never work to do this. The thought is that psychologically you have all these intense motivations to mate, followed by all these feelings of intense aversion as soon as the mating is done. So it motivates seduction, followed by abandonment. And you'd expect from first principles that this would appear more in males than females, and it does seem to appear more in men. It's very theoretical, but it's not the worst explanation in the world. It's quite interesting. Certainly not justifying it, just explaining it.
Guys catch all that?
So that's like pillow talk pretty much. Like after sex, if he doesn't cuddle you, he's obviously not that into you.
Well, okay, I gotta say, women feel the same way. When we have post-nut, I sometimes feel repulsive by the person I just had sex with too.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah, that is the first thing you said that I agree with.
You have sex with them and then they're gross?
Like, it is like post-nut clarity for women as well. It is like, get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there.
David Buss covers both sides, but it seems to be stronger in men.
Because men would sleep with anything.
Okay.
So
Say
I love you during sex.
After they
And
sleep with
men-
it, they realize
do
that
it
wasn't
too,
my
and no
person.
problem.
there's two-
They're
there-
not trying to sleep with the love of their life. They're
there's
just sleeping with anyone that will open their legs to them.
There's-
They literally try every girl. They talk to you, you reject it. Talk to you, reject it. And they'll do that, keep doing it to every woman they see. And then one woman will say yes. And then that woman was not their preference.
Right.
And then afterwards, they're like, oh, whatever.
Oh wow, I'm in bed with a swamp creature. That's amazing.
Like exactly, you guys are
Wait,
ask men.
Listen,
You guys
hold on. Listen,
you guys
wait,
should have
wait.
all men here and talk to them
Right.
because they're the ones that are mentally
Natalia.
ill. They're the ones that are paying our bills.
Right.
Like okay, you guys are so it's so hilarious.
I agree with that for like one fucking
It's
second.
like okay, like
we got
let's
the
go.
left
Zoe,
and
go
the
ahead.
right. We got the left and the rights on the table. Where like
I'm in the middle,
I think this side of the table like strongly agrees on things. This side of the table strongly agrees on things. And I think we're finally coming to a consensus where we're like, yeah, no.
The green versus the white flag.
Yeah.
Jedediah, what do you think about post-nut clarity here?
I have never heard of a woman having a seduce and abandon thing with a guy that she actually gives a shit about, right? That just doesn't, listen, that just doesn't happen if you give a shit about the guy, right? It just doesn't give a shit. Now, I don't know.
We don't. We
Well,
don't, Jeremiah. Wait,
You're talking
Jedediah?
about work, though, right? I mean, you're putting this in work category, so
No,
then
it's
maybe
not
that
in the work
happens.
category either. It's just, it's a simple
Here's
hookup.
the difference with women post-nut clarity is that when men experience females post-nut clarity, we don't give a shit because we had sex, so we go home and we don't care. That's the difference. whatever. We do.
And I want to be cuddled. I want to be cuddled after it.
No, I think I might have a men's mentality. Like, I think most women at this table have a men's
mentality,
post-nut clarity as well. Like, we both all think like men. Like, we're like, okay, so we're here for a reason.
Yes.
Like, okay,
We're here
that
to
reason
get our
is
nut
over.
and
Let's
leave.
The men that we are actually selecting to sleep with, we sleep with them and we get the fuck out.
All right. Let me clarify a few things here. First and foremost, which sex views pornography the most?
Males.
Right. Okay. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because we can compartmentalize the sex act from an emotional investment, which is correct me if I'm wrong, Jed, but which was one of the first things you said when we first started this show isn't there an emotional side? Isn't there because I think one of the things that sort of dumbfounds you is women being able to compartmentalize the sex act from actually having a relationship or having an emotional connection with that person rather than it just being sex for sex sake. Because when guys go on Pornhub and they rub one out, they don't go, oh, I wish there was someone here to cuddle me right now. No guy does that. They rub it out and they go down to 7-Eleven for a fucking big gulp. Okay, that's all that's how it works.
Even
okay?
guys do you know? What guys do you know?
So guys, well, I mean, really, I mean,
Guys tell me all the time they want to be cuddled.
The reason why guys claim to be like addicted to pornography is because that it's built into male nature. It is ejaculate and evacuate. It's about unlimited access to unlimited sexuality, and that's exactly what pornography gives to them, okay? So, why? Because men have a natural ability to separate the sex act from an emotional investment with a guy or with a woman, okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Well, and so when you say, Jed, all of these women seem to even Zoe was just saying a minute ago, we're all kind of think like guys. Yes, because you can condition yourselves as a pornographic personality, or go doing OnlyFans or whatever it is. You can condition yourself as a woman to also compartmentalize the sex act from an emotional investment.
And
I think
guess
that's
what?
what's throwing you off.
No, it's not throwing me off. It's unhealthy. That is not a healthy mindset for a woman. So what you're saying, men and women,
I didn't say it was healthy. I just said
men and women are not supposed to be the same.
There's a double standards for me.
Mm-hmm.
But men and women are different. Inherently.
Let's find a common denominator here, and let's actually find something objective to what Jedediah is saying. When we do surveys on men and women, when they have more sexual partners before marriage, men and women both report that they have less marriage satisfaction the more partners they had before marriage. But the effect seems to be twice as strong in women. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So women, they actually are even less satisfied in a marriage when they have more sexual partners in comparison to men. So when she's saying, like, an objective way of saying what Jedediah is saying is when people are far more likely to leave a marriage if they've had more sexual partners before they got married.
See, and that goes back to, like, I'm single and I know the type that I'm into now is not someone I want to marry, but that's shit's the best sex that I ever had in my entire life. So when I get married, I know that shit not gonna be the best because, like, obviously I don't want it to be my type that I have now. So I agree with your survey results.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tradcon Monica.
You don't want to find a really nice guy with a really big wiener that makes you feel good.
I mean, like, nice guys give me the ick right now.
You don't want to find a nice guy with a big wiener.
I'm sorry.
that
Zoe
makes
is the
you good.
Tradcon.
And here comes Jake right now.
Zoe is the Tradcon.
Come on.
Zoe is the Tradcon.
Mike, let me say something.
I have an idea for you. Ready?
Really nice guy with a really big...
Why would you marry a man that doesn't sexually satisfy you?
Here's an idea.
On you. That's your personal choice.
This is something I've tried. Ready? This is something I've tried. I only have sex with people I'm really, 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 really attracted to.
Thank you.
I'm insanely fucking picky. And so if I have sex with you and I'm insanely picky and you're attractive, I don't have any post-nut clarity. I just want to have sex with you again. That's the solution to the problem right there. Just have sex with people you find insanely attractive. And if that's your husband or your wife, then do that.
I do have a question. How many of us have had sex with a guy that we thought were cute and then after thought that they gave you the ick instantly?
Well, because he did something. It's not the sex that gave me the ick, but he probably said something that annoyed me.
It's never the sex because, you know, we're all in our feels and during the sex. But just, do you find that sometimes you find that the men that you're having sex with give you the fucking ick?
Like 3 days later, but just like cuddle me afterwards.
Yeah. Totally.
Because then their real personality comes out. That's what I'm saying.
really
yes.
Just pretend to listen to her feelings and everything's fine.
Don't pretend. Like, be honest.
Don't be pick your fake. Teeth.
Don't be fake. Just do. That's why people can't find people, because you faking it.
Thank you. Yes.
Don't fake it. Just if you don't want to talk to her, say, "Bitch, shut up."
Clock it.
Mike.
That's helpful. That's very helpful.
Can I say something?
That'll get rid of that post-nut clarity.
Time to go. Okay, let's change the conversation. You know.
Mike,
Like,
can
be
I just
honest.
say
Don't
something?
Hold on, Jenna,
Don't fake
time
the
out,
fun.
time out.
Don't
He's
fake
fired.
the fun.
He's fired.
No
Jedediah,
faking the
go ahead.
fun.
I just want to say something. If you were able to somehow use technology to alter the voices of everyone at this table so you couldn't tell who was a male or female, it would sound like a table of, with the exception of maybe occasionally the girl with the green hair every now and then, this sounds like a table of men.
Yes.
And that is the problem.
As long as we have big
Disagree.
And they're laughing about it, right? I
And
see.
you know what? I respect
You know why?
that
But
because
that's
it's
a problem.
Everybody, quiet. We can't hear her.
But that's the problem, because men and women
not ladies.
are different unless women have numbed themselves so badly to what's instinctive for them, because it's not instinctive for a woman to not want to be cuddled after they have sex. It's not instinctive for a woman to not want to give a shit about the person they're sleeping with. It's not. Biologically, it is not normal for you to feel that way.
Men
It is
have
normal
made
for a
us
guy.
this way.
But
Is
it's
this a
different.
statistic you made up by yourself, Jedediah?
I'm what? I'm sorry?
Is that a statistic you made up by yourself?
No,
Because
but you look at the biology of men and women when they have sex,
The
and why they have
biology
sex,
of
and
women,
how
I
they have
promise
sex.
you.
It's
First of
different.
all,
Your
there's-
hormones are
I
different.
promise
There's
you it's not like
evolution.
that.
You realize
There's
that when women hold up,
evolution.
ladies, when you have sex with someone, I don't care what birth control you're on, I don't care what IUD you're taking, there is a risk that you will become pregnant. By virtue of that reality, that biological reality,
I'm
you should
pregnant.
be feeling differently about sex than a man.
Go ahead. Finish,
It
Jed.
should be a different experience. And this whole table sounds like a bunch of guys. That's a problem. You shouldn't be
Men
effing like
have
a
made
man.
us this
Wait.
way.
I'm going to speak to both of your points again with more boring. Hold on, everybody, time out. I'm going to speak to both of your points, Jessica and Jedediah's, using more incredibly nerdy, boring, try-hard data. Ready? Here it is. There is this thing called the feminization of men. And I don't mean that as a red pill term. It's an actual thing that is happening because estrogen levels in our society are increasing through our poultry, our fish, through plastics when we drink, through perfumes, fragrances. I'm trying to think. There's certain types of soap. There's all these different things that we
Everything.
found. That is because what's happening is the estrogen molecule cannot be boiled out of water. Because it's not a living organism. It's just it's just an odd thing. And so because of that, estrogen levels in men are skyrocketing. Number two, and I don't know all the data on this, but testosterone levels in women are also increasing. So the masculinization of women is happening biologically. Maybe it's natural selection, I don't know. And the feminization of men is also happening biologically. So when you say it's because men made you like this, there is some truth to that. There are a bunch of bitch-ass men that I
Is it
again,
like a government
4,000
conspiracy?
clients.
Is it like a government conspiracy? They're putting estrogen in the water.
No, they're not putting estrogen in water. What happens
It
is
makes the fucking.
no, it's not that. What happens is you take birth control, then you pee.
I don't.
Okay, anyone take. If
It doesn't matter.
Women take birth control, they pee. That estrogen molecule stays in the urine, and then when the sewage system tries to filtrate it out, the water contaminants.
Not only
tries
that,
to
but the
tries to filtrate it out, it
pesticides,
doesn't come out.
but the pesticides, and then the
Okay,
hormones.
pesticides, hormones, all that kind of
It's a
stuff.
conspiracy against men and against women to separate us. So that's why we want to come together. You know, love the porn stars.
But
and
y'all
love the
hate
strippers.
men. Y'all
Stop
hate
fighting each
men.
other.
And now
Just
we're
love
not
us,
wrong.
and everything will be
But
fine.
we're all talking about how we hate men at this table. How we finna
I
come
do love
together
the-
when
I don't
we
hate men. I don't hate men.
Successful men.
I'm
Jennifer.
mad who are in their
I love the
masculine
ones that are
energy.
successful
I
who
don't
give
want
me
a man
money.
in a feminine energy. I am in my masculine energy, but that's the way the world made me. If a man could
That's
get
not
me
how
to
the
my
world made
feminine
you. That's
energy,
how
I
you
would love
made you.
that,
If a woman,
but
if a
that's
man
not
could
the
get
world
you,
we live
if
in.
a man
That's
could
not how
get
the
you
world
to a
made
feminine-
you.
your feminine energy, he would beat that gorilla by himself.
No, ladies,
Hold on.
Jedediah?
that's not how the world made you. That's how you made you because of the
No.
decisions you're
Right.
making.
No.
And you're,
That's
yes,
your
yes,
opinion.
it is.
That's
The
your
world
opinion.
doesn't
That's your
make you
opinion.
masculine. You make you masculine. I know. I did it. I did it too. I was a career climber for years, and you know what? In order to survive in those meetings, I had to masculinize myself.
so
I
tired
made
of
me
this
more
one.
masculine, not the world. My choices,
I
my
mean-
decisions.
What do you mean masculine?
Yeah,
so now
but
you're
that's not
defining.
fair. If we're taking care of ourselves and we're doing what we need to do to survive and get
We're
by,
paying taxes.
We're being human beings. Survival's only for the fittest.
We
if you're
shape ourselves
deciding
to what
you
we
want to
need
be,
to survive.
if you're
And I would
deciding,
love to know what you have to say.
Guys, hold on. Kree's done talking now. Jedediah's got to talk. So go ahead.
if you decide you want to be the woman of the house, if you decide you want to be the one to pay the bills, if you decide you want to be the one to make the decisions, if you decide you want to do a career climb, if you decide that if you meet a big strong man and he wants you to stop having sex with other guys online, you're just not going to do it because you're an empowered woman, then you are masculinizing yourself. That is how you masculinize yourself as a woman. You lose your softness, you lose your femininity. The man is no longer them. You basically demasculinize your man and you get all his masculinity. That's what's happening. And you can hear it right at the table.
Roles have been reversed.
Agree.
Yes,
I would like to know what you have to say because you were about to
Because
speak.
you put yourself at the head of the household.
we had to. There was not.
No,
like
there
a
wasn't.
thing.
We had to. That wasn't a question. It was, if this happens, this is what you do. And if this instance, that's what you do, you put yourself as the head of the
See,
household.
my mom was the head of the household with 2 kids, and she did every other job. Like, she worked 5 jobs and stuff. So when I talk about my career, going back to the girl talking about being in the Playboy house, you know, she didn't look happy about that experience. When I talk about what I'm doing now, I'm so happy with what I'm doing because it's something I'm like driven and like actually give a fuck about doing, and it's something that makes me happy.
Why don't you have me on your podcast?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes.
All right,
See,
thank
and
you.
that also goes to what you guys doing too. If you really genuinely love what you're doing, then that's great. Like, no judgment there, but like, I don't know. That's
Thank
my
you.
point.
Your
Thank
mother,
you for the validation.
Your mother and your grandmother and Playboy didn't have their own podcast either.
Well, my mom also.
They didn't have a choice.
Podcast.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. They didn't become prostitutes and they didn't do this either. They took on regular jobs to
But you
take
don't
care
know
of their
what they
family.
did.
Okay, time out. Hold on. Both things can be true. You
Yeah,
can't.
no, and that's
hold
what
on.
I'm
Both things
saying.
can be true. You can make money from sex work, and women have.
Yes.
Stop. You can make money from sex work, and now, especially since 1972, women have so many opportunities to make money outside of sex work. It is ridiculous.
Thank you.
And very quickly, but right now, there was, in 1972, women were 14 percentage points behind men when it came to getting a bachelor's degree. In 2019, women are now 15 percentage points ahead of men. We have come in the complete opposite direction. So while I do agree with you, yes, you can make a lot of money doing sex work. You could have made a lot of money doing a lot of
Thank
other
you.
things. And in certain countries, like in Scandinavian countries, women are outpacing men as far as income is concerned. So the idea that this was the only thing you had to do, you're just playing a victim.
That's
you guys
what
could have done
Thank
something
you.
else. Go ahead.
And that's, again, goes back to, yeah.
But
I also know my mom. My mom has never done any of that. I've grown up with my mom
If
working
you
5
choose to
jobs.
do this of your own
Yeah.
volition, that's fine.
you
But to say
brought it
this was
back-
the only thing you could do
I
is
am
not
no
true.
victim.
You
Yeah.
brought it back to your mother and your grandmother directly.
Wait, what?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
because I know for a fact that my grandma was an engineer. My mom worked 5 jobs. I know for a fact she did that because she's the one that raised me and my sister. Like, she could
You're
do
from
others.
Iowa?
I'm from Iowa.
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, so you know the Midwest, it's hardworking women.
Yeah.
And so like my mom, the biggest thing she told me was follow your passion, never follow a man. I'm following my passion and I'm happy as fuck. Whether that's, I don't do the sex work, but if that's what makes me happy, I'm finna do that. But that's not what makes me happy. I'm gonna do what I wanna fucking do, which is the podcast and fighting and the stuff
Beautiful.
that I do.
Zoe, what were you
Zoe,
saying?
go ahead.
Hold on.
So I just had a question for like all of the girls at the table. How many girls actually do sex work, whether it be OnlyFans, like meeting people, like whatever it is? Yes.
1, 2.
Yes.
All of us?
I don't have
Okay.
it only
Except for
for
Monica.
So how many of you guys are actually happy with what you're doing in this current moment?
I'm very happy.
You guys are happy? Do you guys ever see that coming to a point that you guys would not be happy with yourself? Like having children, having a husband, like moving on in life? Like, because I'm getting to that point. I made my money and I'm like, I'm ready to leave it. So it's like, do you guys ever see that? Yeah?
I've been in the industry for 7 years, and I'm not just talking about like sex work, but just dancer work.
Yeah.
Just dancing in
Just
general.
dancing, yeah.
It gets old.
It does.
Gets old.
It does really
It gets
quick.
old getting to know someone every fucking day.
Exactly.
Well, it's like
so
a
like
fucking
for me,
script.
it's like I don't want to target you guys, but you guys seem very happy with what you guys are doing, like in this moment. But like at some point, do you guys feel like it's gonna get old and you guys are going to want to settle down and it's going to have an emotional toll on you? Because that's where it hit me.
Well,
and like I'm ready to leave it and start my actual life. I've built my empire. I've done all of that. Do you guys ever see that?
For me personally, I could see myself always being somewhat into the sex industry. Maybe it's in the form of having websites, it's in the form of directing, it's in the form of all those kinds of things. It's always going to be there, but I also could see myself having other different things like makeup, fucking influencer, fucking all these other things. So but it all ties together.
Yeah, so
entity.
Yeah.
Like Jedediah was saying, like, what kind of man do you see yourself with? Like, at the end of the day, you say that you want like a really respectable man that like can hold it down and stuff for you. But do you believe that you can actually find that in the future?
Yes.
Yes?
I can, because
Yeah?
you know what? This job might be my job, but I am more than this job.
I believe you.
Yeah,
I believe you.
are a queen.
You are. You are, for sure.
You're a queen.
For sure.
He probably likes redheads too.
Even if that.
Well, mine's a fake red. Sorry, I diet this.
Mine's natural.
I feel like
Well,
I'm curious.
Wait. Let Jed go. Go
I'm
ahead, Jed.
curious, the girl on the end that was just speaking, talking about how you're
Zoe.
saying,
Uh-huh.
Zoe, saying, I want to leave this. I don't want to, I built my empire. I don't want to do this anymore. Are you concerned about these decisions that you've made having an impact on you finding a stand-up guy who's a gentleman, who's all these things? Are you worried that that's going to be a problem now?
It has already been an issue. I do find it being an issue for future partners. So for my past partners, it has been an issue. I also have a daughter. She is going to be 5. So moving on with that, she's just going to get older. She's going to be more exposed to that. I've been looking into ways to remove myself from the internet completely. Like I said, I built my empire. I have more than enough. I invested my money. I was smart with it. And like, yeah, I'm ready to get out.
See that? I think like
Do you
that
have a
voice.
plan, 5-year plan?
What?
Do you have a 5-year plan?
I don't need a 5-year plan. I had a lifetime plan from when I started.
From when you get out, like, so you plan for the next 5 years.
What do you want to do now?
Yeah.
What is something that
What do I want to do?
I feel like
Yeah.
that's a choice as
Like,
a mother.
is it makeup?
I really
Is
don't
it-
feel like it's a choice.
I don't.
You
I don't
literally
need
go
to do
out and
anything. My
sacrifice
life is already set up
Yeah.
for me.
It's
I
your
have
choice.
businesses. I have properties. I have.
I get that,
so
but
many
also
things.
like
I
if
don't want
I
to
didn't
plan.
have something to look forward to doing every day, I would get
I don't
so
need
bored.
to. I can just. I
It's
can
not
just
about
sit
being
there
bored,
and
though.
enjoy
It's
my
about
life.
being
I can
financially responsible for your
go
child.
sit on
I
a
know,
beach
but
and I
like
can enjoy my life.
doing a different job
That's
or
why.
something just
That's
for the
why I
fuck
got
of
into
it.
what I'm
Go to Mexico
doing.
tomorrow.
If you're
That's why I
thinking
got
about
into what I'm
doing
doing.
makeup,
All right,
And a
hold
lot
on.
of young
Hold on,
girls.
Crosstalk. Go ahead, Jed.
No, I think her message is important though, because it's so easy when you're making a shit ton of money to just say, this is what I'm doing now. Who cares? Let me just live in the moment. Let me do the climb. I'm a career woman. Oh, there'll be so many opportunities. It's really hard once you realize that you want to get out to say, holy shit, I've been doing all this stuff. There's a record of all of it online. I don't want to be known as this anymore. Yeah, I have my money and my financial stability, but I have a child. I don't want this. I don't want this to be my identity anymore. It's not so easy to delete. So if you make a decision today, even the other girl who's in green, pretty girl saying, I want to do this. I want to be with a sex worker. This is my decision. I want to marry a sex worker. I want someone in the industry. You might feel that way today and not feel that way tomorrow. All I'm saying is take a minute, especially the girls that are new to this, to just sit and think about, is this going to be so easy to walk away from? Is there going to be a record of all this? Is that going to impact me? If I have a daughter, am I going to want her to see this? Am I going to struggle with that reality? Because it may change your mind about what you're doing right now. And if you think I want to attract this kind of guy, and you know that kind of guy is not going to be drawn to what you're doing, then start making decisions today to attract that guy. If you don't give a shit today, fine, but you might give a shit tomorrow, is all I'm saying.
My thing is I've done a lot of my life of attracting other men, like attracting men and doing what men want, and it has gotten me nowhere. So you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do because it makes me happy. I'm going to make my money, and whoever comes that thinks that I'm doing great, go for it. But the thing is that I am done making myself available and making myself change and changing my whole personality to fit some other person that is not fucking me.
Yes, queen.
Even if you say that though now, and even let's take the guy out of it. Let's say you say, I don't give a shit about guys, right? I'm going to do this for me. Even if you decide, say in 5 years, you turn around and something happens in your life and you say, this is not me anymore. I don't want to do this. This is not who I am. I don't want to be defined by this. I don't agree with it. Whatever. You have some type of epiphany. It can happen to any one of us. It's not so easy because of the line of work you've done with this record everywhere for you to say that and walk away and just remove yourself from that identity because it's very explicit what you're doing.
You have a digital footprint.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, just
will
take that into
forever be there,
consideration.
whether or not you're paid for each view, and your daughter or your family knows about it, that's going to be there online.
Well, it's going to be real hard for me because I use my real name.
To take it down.
That is crazy as
Me
shit.
too. Me too, girl. I use mine.
Didn't Asa Akira? I think Asa Akira used her real name too, right? Did she? All right.
people do.
Want to get to another video?
Yeah, we'll get to let's get to supers in a minute.
Okay,
here.
look, you want to
I want to throw one last thing in here. Maybe Jed, maybe this is something you put in your notes that you're writing down right now. Today we live in a media world where it is easier for a woman to get $1 million from one man, or from $1 million from $1 million men, than it is to get $1 million from one man. So when you have the what you're asking girls to do from an OnlyFans perspective, I'm just going to use OnlyFans as the example here. What you're asking women to do is to give up this incredible amount of money to get with one guy who's supposed to have a whole shit ton of money. And that's a really difficult choice to make when women are financially dependent, or it's called lifestyle creep. You can only live this lifestyle if you keep doing what you've been doing. So you've got to figure out rationales for that. You've got to figure out, like, how am I going to sort of justify this to myself psychologically and moralistically, or whatever it is. And so that's how you get that compartmentalization that I was saying before. But you have to throw in the financial aspect into this as well. As I was saying before, it is easier for women to get 1 million men to pay them $1 than it is to get one man and marry that one man and get $1 million as a result.
Yeah, but this whole table is full of women who are not dumb, right? I'm listening to them talk. These are not stupid women. These they're smart, they're business savvy, they're pretty girl, they're attractive. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of avenues here. If you wanted to take, now do I believe that the boss babe, whole path for women is the ideal path for women? I personally don't. But if you're going to take a boss babe path, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. So, and it's not only about money. Like, money is great. Money is awesome. But when you lose a lot sometimes in exchange for money. So I'm just saying, like, self-reflect.
Risk adverse, and men are more risk adverse than women.
No, men are more women are more risk averse. Men have more risk tolerance.
I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah. No, men have more risk tolerance because of testosterone.
Okay.
Let's do supers.
Okay, here we go. Siege G. Question for the ladies: are you guys more turned on if a guy tells you that he's a virgin, and or autistic? I'm seeing too many guys who think it's something to be proud of. Shout out to Iron Rule number 2. Who, ladies, raise your hand if you like virgin more. Virgin more. Who here likes autistic?
Give me an autism man. I'm a little bit on the tism spectrum, so give me a tism man. What are you obsessed with?
Borderline assault.
Yes.
There's a lot of
assault.
You clearly haven't had a fan before.
Somebody that's not mentally capable of making decisions.
Medium
versus
with a touch of
spectrum.
I love love on the spectrum. They're so nice to each other.
Awesome. Go ahead. CG, Jed is obvious. Hold on. Guys, quiet. Jed is obviously Siege's favorite tonight on this Access Vegas show. First panel show. Second would be Monica Simp Siege.
Hey,
Monica
let's go.
Siege
Thank you.
likes you.
Hey.
Derek Nelson, Sartain, and Rolo stole all the testosterone.
Yes.
Wait, flex. You guys got to flex now. Show the
What are you
testosterone.
talking about? Somewhere.
Dada?
Daddy, yes.
Hey, Sartain, how's the home studio coming? Thank you, Siege. If you watch my interview with when Jedediah had me on her show, that's my home studio. It is complete and it looks great. Rational Redneck. What would you girls do when your kids are getting bullied because their classmates found your old content? What would you guys do?
Oh my God, what a question.
Beat them up. No.
I'm like, why are you watching porn?
I think we had this conversation
Why
already.
is your parents at?
I'd be
Why
like,
are you on those websites?
Why are you on those websites?
Yeah, you shouldn't be on those
Because
websites.
they're children.
Yeah, but because these.
I go to their parents. And tell them, hey, your child is watching my content. Just so you know, that is illegal. And you should talk
I feel like the dads would then look
Tell
it
your
up.
dad to log off my channel and turn the
Oh,
computer
sign out. Yeah, no, we definitely had this conversation before, Michael, and I told you that I would tell my daughter to go and tell them, well, you're sitting here in school while I'm at Disneyland. So
wow.
Beautiful. I love that answer, actually.
Pocket. What were you doing during this time?
Jed, I'm going to say something that I've said this before, and it's going to sound kind of crazy. I actually think, and I'm not condoning this. I think that when kids bully other kids for their parents being on OnlyFans, those kids will get immediately expelled. I think the pervasive wokeness is going to be like, I can't believe you would shame someone for doing sex work, and therefore you're going to see. I think you're going to see these kids get expelled from.
I don't even think it's that. It's that child is watching porn.
Yeah.
That is expulsion. Your child is underage.
Yeah.
They're watching porn.
That's just deviant behavior.
But also, were you never a teenager who watched porn? Like, that shit happens. Like,
okay, but the woke education system narrative is not.
They're just tattling on themselves
for watching porn.
Let them tattle. They're literally tattling on themselves.
No, it's a no judgment culture.
How'd they find you in the first place?
Pornhub.
Go ahead, Jed.
It's a no judgment culture, Mike, is what you're saying. That it's going to be stressed like you can't judge.
It's a judgment culture. If you're a Trump supporter, they're going to.
Well, yes, it's a no judgment culture when you're doing something illicit or something that fits within their
shaming the kid for watching porn.
100%. But in all of this conversation, you got to realize that regardless of what you say, the kids are going to be affected. Kids are going to find out.
Yeah.
Their friends are gonna. It's all going to be on the internet. It's going to be searchable. Whether they should be looking at it or not, of course, they shouldn't be, but they're going to see it and they're going to be affected negatively. So again, when women make these decisions, like, I get it, you want to make money, but you're going to have future children that are going to be affected by this. You're going to affect yourself and your ability to get married in a healthy relationship. There's other stuff to think about aside from dollars and cents here.
What do you think? What do you think the likelihood Kim Kardashian goes to her family and says, "Hey, I just want to apologize to you for making a bad decision of having
made a great decision.
Stop talking. Hold on, give me a second.
It's a great decision.
What do you think? Kim Kardashian goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, it's really unfortunate that my child is watching the sex tape with me and Ray J. And I just want to apologize to my family for making this decision that put me in a." You don't think she's going to say that?
No, because her kids aren't on
What
the
do you think?
internet.
Hold on. What do you think she's going to say later to her family that, hey, you know what? Maybe I put you guys in a bad position when I ended up marrying Kanye West. Maybe that was a bad thing. Do you think that maybe
that also elevated her career?
I don't know if it elevated. I don't know if it elevated her career. I don't know if it elevated.
I don't think that she ever would, but I wish that she would.
Yeah, that's my point.
Well,
I'm going to go back to my original point when it comes to Lana Rhoades, when it comes to Mia Khalifa, when it comes to Holly Madison.
They don't take responsibility.
Go back and apologize to that dude you left. Go back and apologize to your husband who you cheated on. Go back and apologize to your pastor. Go back and apologize to your parents. I want to see that first. You have to do that, and then you can play the victim. Ain't nobody playing the victim if you have to.
First of all, Kanye is a crazy person, and then two.
Again, so what have you done to her family and all of her associates by having her associate?
And her kids aren't on the internet.
Well,
her
apparently
kids
keeps
have
making
nothing to
incredible
do.
beats, by the way.
Her kids don't know
Incredible
any of
beats.
this information because they're not allowed to be on there.
Kanye is a different
false.
conversation.
Her kids know. North definitely knows how
Those
the
are two completely different things.
He brought them into light. He brought them
I'm
in.
disagreeing what she says. Yeah.
Michael has a good point. I think they're correct. The pastor married my sister and her husband.
Yeah.
And seeing that,
What I'm saying is like you want the world to not hold you accountable, then go back to all those people who begged you to not make this decision and apologize to them, and you won't.
Didn't her mother? Didn't her
No one
mother
told me not
help
to do it.
release
Everyone
that?
told me to do it.
The
Just so
sex
y'all
tape?
know.
I'm sure, maybe.
Her mom was involved in. I mean, the whole family.
I wouldn't count her mother in this. What I'm saying is there was probably some guy who wasn't Ray J who she was dating.
Sure.
Who wasn't going to film her having sex, and she left that guy to be with this guy who's a bad boy, and then And my point is, she looks back now. I guarantee you, if she could go back now.
I know her first husband, and he was abusive, and he was a football player. No one knows about him.
Okay, so
he was a client.
So here's my next point is, so it doesn't seem like she's very lucky in love, does it?
No.
It doesn't
No,
seem
but
like she's listening to help.
pattern is pattern,
It doesn't
you
seem
know?
like she's listening to a lot of
Complex
healthy
trauma. It gets
conversations.
passed down from
You
the
know who
parents.
wasn't abusive? Rob Kardashian, her dad.
yeah.
He was actually a pretty good dude, and her husband
Maybe he was
left.
too much of a simp.
And her husband left. So that's the lesson we want to leave here. My point is, if she had a football player husband who abused her, and then she had the situation with Chris Humphrey, and then she had the situation with Kanye West, and then she had the situation with Ray J, and then she had the
Pete
situation with
Davidson.
Pete
Also
Davidson,
Reggie.
and then she had the situation with
Pete.
Reggie Bush. If she did that, and she at some point could she hold herself accountable for her behavior? And the answer
She's
is
never
no.
gonna know.
And the
Well,
answer
first
is
of
no.
all, you're talking about a narcissist.
Huh?
You're talking about a narcissist.
Right. Well, again, but my point is, if women just don't want to be held accountable, what I'm saying is, if you guys want to claim victimhood, and I'm not saying anyone at this table is claiming victimhood, but these women online who want to claim victimhood, go back and apologize to your pastor. I want to see that
Yes.
first.
Take
I want to see that first.
accountability.
When you go to AA, what
I'm not
happens?
religious
They make
like
you go
that.
back and they make you atone for what you did and go ask for forgiveness for every single person you fucked over while you were getting drunk. They make you do that. So if these women, if Lana Rhoades wants atonement for her doing porn, go back and apologize to every dude that she dated before she started doing porn who didn't want her to go do that shit. That's what I want to see, and you'll never see it. That's my point.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. For real.
No, I agree with that statement.
I agree.
Last go.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, can we just talk about how hot Michael is for a second?
Oh.
What? Who said that?
Looking good.
Oh, thank you.
Go up one more.
I'm an old
Go
man.
up one more.
Okay.
There you go.
Hold on, let me see here.
That's a lot of coke.
A lot of coke, cap, and narcissists in the panel. Just get your passport, guys, so you don't have to deal with these delusional hooligans.
Shit, we could go get the passport too. When we go get a nice French man.
Pay their real country prices.
They're the ones.
I'll
They're the
go to
ones
Dubai and
paying
marry
for
a
y'all.
sheik. It's okay.
Listen, guys.
I'll
you can
marry a
get your
sheik from
passport.
Dubai.
You get
It's
your passport
okay.
and go get a good traditional girl in Poland.
Yeah, go pay.
Why do you think I'm being nice to
Traditional
her?
girl in
Why
Poland.
do you think I'm being nice to her? I'm
The
trying
Polish women will walk all over
You
you
guys
too.
should leave the United States and go get you a traditional girl in Canada. That's where they are.
Fucking A.
I feel like the same guy who wrote that also watches OnlyFans and also
Maybe, maybe.
All right.
By the way, Sartain and hold on. Well, by the way, Steve says.
stopped.
By the way, Sartain and Rolo love this new schedule. I'm on the East Coast and I can mod after work. And Wednesdays are great because there's less bloodthirsty Frank Castle fans wanting girls to get kicked out. Appreciate that. And Yobi Lim. If I was the dad, I would have told her you should have never posted your box online in the first place and shut the door on her face.
He
Got it?
looks like he would have said that.
Got it? And then
Not even him.
Here we go.
and then Yobi Lim ask them to name 3 countries, see what happens. All right.
Okay,
Ireland,
let's do it.
Germany.
We're gonna do this.
I've been to more than fucking 4 countries, so I've been all over
Talking.
the world.
Stop.
crazy
This is why we have
episode,
fucking
y'all.
problems. Stop. Listen, we're gonna start. You cannot name Poland and you cannot name Canada.
Let's see if he has any
Stop.
stamps,
Stop.
bitch.
Ready? Name 3
I can
countries.
name all the countries I've been to.
Countries?
Yeah. Name
Is
3
Italy a country?
Italy is a country.
Oh
Right?
Okay.
Huh?
Italy.
Italy. What's number 2?
Mexico.
Mexico is a country. Number 3.
No, Africa's a continent.
Africa is a country. It's good. That one catches a lot of people.
Okay, but like at least I didn't fucking fumble the bag
Go
right
ahead. What was
there.
number 3?
South Korea.
South Korea is a
Good
country.
enough.
Cree, give us 3 countries.
I will give you Ireland.
Ireland is a country.
I will give you. I
Can
will
they
give you.
repeat what we say?
No, they cannot.
can't.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll give you Ireland.
Sorry, guys.
I will give you France.
Okay.
And then I will give you Spain.
Nice. Very
Hey,
good.
been to all of those.
Okay,
Germany got to
all
1, but not the other. Let's go to Genesis. Give it 3 countries.
London.
London is not a
like
country.
It's a city.
I've been to London,
Yes.
but Mexico. I represent Mexico.
Okay, we already
Where
said
did
Mexico. Do you
Mexico?
have any other ones?
And I would say Europe's
You're so
No.
beautiful. You are so beautiful. You are the prettiest girl at this table right now. You are so beautiful.
I just represent where I'm from.
There you go. Good. All right, let's go.
Do you want to?
Alina?
I love her.
China is a
China.
country. China.
China. North Korea.
North Korea is another country.
And let's do like Jordan.
Jordan, Amman, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan is a place. What? 3 countries.
Okay, Finland.
Finland is a country.
Atta girl.
Did you say Finland?
Oh,
Finland.
and then I would say
All Scandinavian.
Amsterdam.
Yes.
No, the Amsterdam
that's
is a city.
Amsterdam
Is
is
it
a
a
city
city?
in Holland.
Helsinki is the capital.
Netherlands.
Netherlands is, yes.
Okay, and then England.
England is a country. It's the United Kingdom, but yes, England is a country. Yes, close enough.
Thailand, Brazil, Russia.
Thailand, Brazil, and Russia are countries. Go ahead.
All right, Rocket.
Just name three other countries that Germany
Japan,
invaded
Indonesia,
instead of yours.
and Australia.
What is it?
New Zealand.
Sydney and Auckland.
So Sydney is not a country, but go ahead.
New Zealand.
New Zealand is a country.
What do you call it?
The United States of America.
Morocco.
I love it over here.
Morocco, yes.
I seriously thought Amsterdam was a country.
My friend is actually the vice president of the Congo.
The Congo, okay.
Congo Republic.
All right, did it. Okay.
All right, did it.
You want me to
And
keep
then
going?
some. And you know what? They still, no one ever says Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein. Here we go. Double. Or let's let me see here.
Colombia.
Robert Flores. Remember this one? A good man is hard to find because he's not looking for you. By the way, the porn and OF industry are run by predators anyway. Okay, that's interesting.
Also his beard, yeah.
All right. Michael, what books are you currently reading? Right now, I'm reading, what's it called? Inner Excellence. And then I'm also reading the Jack Ryan series, the Witcher series. I'm reading the Mitch Rapp series and the Jack Reacher series.
So are you watching?
All of them at once?
Yeah,
You reading all those at once?
Yeah, I go through all of
So
them.
you're doing like more fantasy?
No. So I read self-help books and I alternate each one.
Oh, listen to them or read them?
Oh, John Grisham. I've gone through every single John Grisham.
So you mix and match?
Yeah. I used to do all self-help, and now I go either.
Because sometimes it's just hard to get all of that information
I actually
into your
learn
brain.
more from Tom Clancy novels than I do from most novels about like world history. Tom Clancy's really good.
1942.
1942. Yeah, there we go.
Do you ever watch?
Zoe, what's the last book you read?
Huh?
What's the last book you read?
Crossroads.
Crossroads? Okay.
Yes.
Mine's Credence.
By a Canadian hockey player that got into a bus accident. His name is Caleb Dahlgren, and it's his experiences before and after.
Incredible.
So,
Does he subscribe to you?
He doesn't.
Okay.
I don't even think he knows my name.
Okay.
But I knew a lot of his teammates that were in the accident, so I just kind of wanted to.
Cree, what's the last book you read?
The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene.
Atta girl.
That's a good
Genesis, what's the last book you read?
That was probably like middle school.
I see.
Like Nancy Drew.
You're the prettiest girl at the table.
Yeah,
Nancy
like a
Drew.
four.
Okay. Alina, what's the last book you read?
Desert Solitaire, Edward Abbey.
Edward Abbey. Okay.
Okay.
Credence. It's a smut book.
Credence. Okay.
Atta girl.
In the Shadows of Blackbirds by Kat Winters.
Okay.
I'm reading a self-help book. Don't believe everything you think.
Okay. Beautiful. I realized the other day the first book I ever read was 10 Little Indians by Agatha Christie, and I read that one.
Oh my God, yes,
I
that's
love
a good book.
I remember that. So that would have
That's
been
such a good book.
That would have been when I was 7 or 8 years old. So that would have been 40 years ago.
Jed,
I
what's the
just
last
started
book
reading
you
books
read?
Last year. I've never read a
Joe
book before that.
Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Oh wait,
and-
stop!
He's a fraud.
Everybody, be quiet because I have to hear this.
He's a fraud.
Joe Dispenza, keep going.
I'm a big Joe Dispenza girl. You Are the Placebo, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yeah, he's a miracle worker, that dude.
Have you watched Good Rugged's documentary on?
He may be a miracle worker, but he didn't heal his spine through quantum fields.
Oh, you don't think so?
He speaks nonsense. I studied
No
quantum mechanics
way.
in college.
No way.
I studied quantum mechanics in college. Every single one of those people that are with those scientists are complete debunked quacks.
No,
Absolutely.
it's not true. A
stealing
lot of
people's
people have
money.
actually
You watch
followed his stuff and done it.
It's like they're selling snake oil.
Yeah.
No. Did you
You're
watch-
wrong on this, Artane. You're 100% wrong.
There is no objective scientific source whatsoever that agrees with anything that Joe Dispenza has to say.
Do those objective?
Time out. Joe Dispenza, if we put Schrodinger's equations right here for quantum mechanics, I could solve them. Joe Dispenza, I bet you $100 million could not. He does not know the first principles when it comes to quantum mechanics, and he uses it in order to sell a product. And I have friends that have go to his Mexico retreats or whatever,
$10,000?
and it is just one upsell after another. I'm sorry. I'm not saying he doesn't help people, and I'm not saying he doesn't inspire people.
He helps a lot
but
of
he
people.
did not heal his spine through quantum mechanics.
How do you know that?
Objectively not true.
How do you know that?
Because I understand quantum mechanics, Jed. I'm being serious because I understand quantum mechanics. I fully and totally. I have an understanding of quantum mechanics to know that what he's saying.
You know what you should do?
And total hokum.
You know what you should do? You should have Joe Dispenza on the show. That would be a great debate.
He would never. Joe Dispenza would never come on a show with me because he'd get exposed. He would never come. He has a PhD. He has a doctorate in chiropractic. He is not an actual doctor.
No, but I took her. her
Michael.
3 years before she passed.
He has a doctorate in chiropractic. Look it up if you don't
I
think
know that, but you think
Dispenza and
after the last 5 years, you actually care about what
ex went
actual
to his
doctors have to say?
What are
And my ex was a scam artist.
Anyway,
What the fuck? He does like ayahuasca.
Just do some. I'm not saying he's not inspirational. I know a bunch of guys, but stop. I'm not saying but I am utterly terrified that him and Deepak Chopra continue to say things that are objectively not true, and they create science ignorance in this country because people actually think that this guy healed his spine through quantum mechanics. Yeah. He has not only did he not heal his spine through quantum mechanics, he doesn't understand quantum mechanics. Know it. That's the point. He likes there's a little Q in there. It worked well. He probably had a little SEO guy who said, quantum is a good word we can use to upsell with our email list. That's what he did. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm a salesman. I sell people every day. I can tell you, and I work in the self-help community. The guy is a top-notch salesman, absolutely incredible speaker, and what he's saying is objectively not
His
true.
dad was a doctor, and he came from money, so he had a lot of stuff to
reference.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so he knows how to scam people, and
he knows how to reference important things
last one.
to make it get by.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And he's had his hair done. He's had cosmetic surgery.
Stop.
We got one more. We got one more.
Mike,
If you're
stop.
authentic about
Honey,
it.
please.
Natalia.
Mike, do any of them work at Rhino asking for a friend? Okay, that's all.
We've all worked at Rhino.
No, that's funny.
I have not, but I know people there.
I used to.
Hi. I have friends that work there too.
I have hot friends that work there.
Alina's been. Alina is occasionally at the Rhino.
Thank you. You can look at my Instagram. But available by booking Rhino in Vegas and Manhattan, New York.
Okay, got it.
That's where the money's at.
Headquarters.
Cool.
Headquarters in New York.
We can if you want. We got five minutes.
Oh my god,
Okay.
my book.
Everybody, quiet. We can talk after the show.
Thank you.
Which one do you want to do?
Hold on.
Oh, let's.
Side chick is funny. Hold on. We did that one.
Let's do side chick.
Oh, fight for him. No, do fight for him. Fight for him. This one's
Okay,
great.
this is good.
Ladies, we'll leave you one that you'll very much enjoy. Ready? Watch it.
Last one.
I'm scared
There you
now.
go.
I say this. Any man who could possibly be mean to you or disrespect you or speak down to you is probably the love of your life, and you should beg to keep him. Do you remember how nice he was at the beginning? That was really amazing, wasn't it? He was like perfect. And he probably is perfect. I'm sure he is, actually. You're probably the problem. It has nothing to do with the fact that this is the pattern that he goes through in every relationship that he's ever been in. Everybody else was the problem, and so are you. You fucked up, and you need to fix it. So stay. Fight for it. Fight for it. What are you, a pussy? Fight for it. Come on. You're a strong person, and he clearly does a lot of growth and introspection, given that there's only been 2 weeks between all of his relationships. Think about how much growth he has had to do in those 2 weeks every time, or less. Sometimes they overlapped. And that's amazing, and a huge testament to his character that he could grow that much in negative time. So you should stay and fight for him because he's perfect, and he's the man of your dreams.
Wait, instead of fight for him, fight him.
Fight him.
Beat him up.
I would fight him.
This is.
I am a man. I
Jed,
fight.
what do you think of the video?
She feels attacked.
Jed.
Yeah.
Why would Jed feel attacked? She would.
Me?
No. Jed, what do you think of the video?
Oh man, I love a no accountability woman. You know that, Mike. I love it. It's always everyone else's fault.
My favorite, guys, I
Judd,
will
I'm
tell you.
crying. I'm crying, Judd.
The whole thing. Yeah, I've done this before. I have most of my friends are female, and we'll have conversations, and they'll go back to some shitty guy over and over again. And I've tried the whole just sit there and listen to you. No. If you want to come to me for me to listen to you, you came to the wrong fucking place. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna look you dead in the eye and be like, he only hits you because he loves you, right? You know what I'm saying? He only cheats on you because he wants to marry you. You know that, right? That's what you're gonna get out of me. You're gonna get nothing but sarcasm. Because I love you, I'm here
That's
to solve
why you're my friend.
And that video is the whole reason why I don't give everything to a man anymore.
Okay, got it.
Oh my God.
Because they do switch up.
Zoe is going to need medical attention here in a second. She's
I
crying.
really do. I'm legitimately crying. That like hit a.
Yeah.
That hit a spot. Oh, I'm finishing my drink now. I legitimately cried, Michael. You saw those were real tears.
Oh
my God!
Bravo. Okay, listen. One last question. Yolem says, 100 modern women versus accountability. Who wins?
I mean, accountability.
Probably.
100 versus 1. I'm gonna take the 100 in that fight. If it's physical, I'm gonna take the 100.
We're gonna dog him out. We're gonna dog him out.
Okay, but here's the thing.
We're gonna dog it out.
When I fuck up, I know I hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
All right, too many talking. All right, got it. Beautiful. Jed, where can everybody find you?
At Jedediah Bila Official. Most of y'all will hate what I'm saying, but you'll rage quit it. You'll get, it's a good thing to get angry, right? So you can check it out. Guys, girls watching who've liked anything that I've said, you'll like it even more over there. We get feisty. We take on feminism. We take on all of it. We have fun. And if you want to see the interview, also, I interviewed Mike and Rolo there in the last couple of weeks. So you can go check those out as well. At Jedediah Bila Official. We're climbing. We're only 2 months new and we are climbing. So head on over. Oh, by the way, an upcoming guest on that. Quick thing, upcoming guests on that channel. We've got Justin Waller. We've got Sterling Cooper. We've got Myron Gaines. And when he comes to Texas, we got Andrew Tate.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
What's that?
Okay, Jedediah, I agreed with you on majority of what you were saying, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I love you, but how many people compare you to Miss Rachel? Do you know who that is?
We love Miss Rachel, and you are her.
No, I don't actually.
Please.
I don't know who Miss Rachel is either.
She's like
for the mothers.
Program. Okay. Yeah.
For the mothers, it's the blue, the pink, your face, the hair.
Somebody said
Oh,
I remind them of Snuffleupagus. So yeah.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah. All right. Awesome, guys. Jed is a legend. I'm really happy she's back on the air. As soon as she got back on the air, me and Rolo
all over
we jumped on it. We wanted to be on it. It's really because what I'm looking for at this point, guys. I don't have opinions anymore. I just have podcast topics. That's all I have left. I'm really just one interesting segment after another. I really have no substance to me at all. That's all. That's
But
all
you're hot, so.
Oh, thank you.
Saving
See, look at you already using your looks to benefit.
Oh, there we go. I'm just being objectified here. This is incredible.
Dada.
All right, guys. Awesome. All right, so for the rest of you guys, remember, if your girl is at XBiz this week, she is not your girl. That's the first thing I'll let you.
For everyone.
If she's for everyone. If your girl is at Miami Swim Week, the week after that, she is definitely not your girl.
Community.
Just to let you guys know. And then also coming up in the future, there's going to be a Babes in Toyland animal rescue event that we're going to be happening in June. We don't know the exact date. That's going to be in Los Angeles. In August, we're going to have another Babes in Toyland. It's going to be another swim. It's going to be Vegas Swim Week in August. I can't remember when that. We got to figure out what that exact.
And I
date
will
is.
get Jed out for that one.
And one other. I am going. It's tentative. I'm going to be hosting. Some amateur fights as a ring announcer on June 22nd. I will give you guys more information when that comes up. And then other than that, there are several prelims for Swimsuit USA's World Championship. If you guys are interested in that, I can connect you with Kathy Wheatley, and I will be hosting that the 3rd week of October in Mexico for Swimsuit USA's 2026 World Championship. Awesome? Cool. Jed, we love you. Seriously. We're happy that you're here. Jed,
She on her phone.
Good combo.
latest Jed has ever been up in her entire life.
Honestly, let me tell you something, Michael. If my
Yes.
circadian rhythm is messed up, I'm coming for you. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
already coming for you.
Whatever it takes to get you here in this room, we're down to do it, girl.
Yes.
Earlier.
If Jedediah
You gotta
gets
shoot
an
earlier.
OnlyFans, I would subscribe.
Yes.
Listen, if you shoot earlier, I will come.
If we shoot earlier, we can't get any of
Fly
these girls.
her
It's
out.
8 o'clock.
These girls don't wake
Fly
up
her
at
out.
7, Jed. They don't wake up
Fly
at
her
7.
out. Fly her out. Fly her out. Fly her out. Fly her out. Private jet. First class.
In
Private
August.
jet.
August.
God.
We'll get you out here for August Babes in Toyland.
We can actually talk, bitch.
That's fine.
Can we just relax for a second, please?
All of
Okay.
us adult entertainers work night.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not
Yeah.
outfits.
I don't know about you, but I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And I get everything I needed done by 9 p.m. By 9
Most of the
o'clock.
girls that come to the show don't wake up till 4 p.m.
like
so that's
That
okay.
must be nice.
Go to bed.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to see you in 2 weeks on June 4th.
Bye, y'all.
And by the way, on that episode episode, we have no OnlyFans content creators. We just did this.
Do not subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Me and Michael are making OnlyFans tonight. Me and Michael are making OnlyFans tonight.
Yes, incredible. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. Remember that.
He has a body double.